Hi everybody. Congrats getting first, Krim. Congrats getting third, Alley Cat. Second is still available for someone to get it. I don't know if you can tell this. It's still a tiny bit dying. For people who don't know, or for people who like understandably stopped watching sometime Congrats getting second zombie. For people who didn't continue watching all night, we were doing the rough at I keep on saying we. I don't know why I keep on trying to like give you guys any blame for what I've been doing. Like we all made the decision to ruin our sleep schedules for this video that we are putting out and that might flop, probably will flop. But yeah, I guess we collectively on stream were watching, but I was editing this video. Um the way that we've done this so far is that we wrote it on stream. That took the first 7.5 hours, give or take. Then we did the rough audio edit, which that plus getting some background footage took about 4 hours. I'd have to check the length of the VoDs to make sure, but I believe that one was about a 4 hour process. It depends. And then we did the rough edit, which was like what you can see here. And well, a lot of this is what you could. This was the audio edit. The rest of this was other stuff. But the rough edit and getting the background footage took about 10 hours yesterday, and we were up. Or I was up until about 6. Fuck, what is up with the Wii? Am I like developing psychological issues? Probably. I don't know what's going on with that though. I kept catching myself doing that last night too, where I was like, why the fuck am I saying we? There's no plural here. Anyways, so what we're gonna be doing today is going through. We're gonna have to clean up this stuff, add in some edits. There are some areas where like I just haven't. I don't know if you can tell. At some point, I was just like, I just need to get the basics done. We added in the background music. I don't know how good the background music is for what it is, but it's there. We're gonna have to do some reviews of this. We will be doing that one is like an intentional because I intend for you guys to also tell me if some fuck shit is here that I'm not noticing. But don't say anything mean about me, the video, or any of my decisions because I will cry. I'm very vulnerable right now. I did manage to edit this together so that like it lines up pretty much perfectly with the end of the. I mean, I had to cut out a lot of shit, but it ends with the tournament. Like, hold on.
Redmond HQ underwater by 20 again, because this is just what the unregulated games industry is and does. And it is frustrating to know that we don't have the power to change anything because we don't have billions of lobbying dollars necessary to convince people in power that it should not be legal for the wealthy and powerful to destroy entire art forms in their selfish pursuit of even more billions of dollars at the expense of the consumers and creators.
I mean, it's a little jarring, but I just wanted it to end on the little tournament victory thing. I wanted to get my win. Hey, Gabby. It's going good. We just started up again, but we've got the raw edit, or the rough edit done. My brain hurt.
And on that lighthearted note, that's where we're gonna end this video for now.
God, you know what? I'd kind of gotten numb to hearing my own voice like that over the course of yesterday, but wow, it really doesn't get better. It doesn't get better at all. Anyways, so there's some stuff I have to add in, like the stuff at the conclusion I know I have to do still. So we're gonna do that first, and then we'll kind of go back through the video and see if there's like clips or screenshots or anything I want to add in. But overall, video editing is going good. I don't think we're gonna spend more than a couple hours on this section, like at most. I mean, like, there's always the element of like I could always do more, but I don't want to do. Like at some point the video needs to be out, and I'm hoping to have it up by like 6 p.m. So that means it has to be finished, it has to be uploaded, it has to have time to process. It has to have time for the VODs of the process to upload and process. So yeah, we're gonna get this bit done.
Thank you for watching. The timer is still going on at twitch.tv/theviveros.
Oh yeah, hold on.
If you want to see the behind the scenes on this video, the whole process of it can be found start to finish over on my VODs channel. Link is in the description. This video was a donathon reward, and if you're watching this on the day it comes out, the donathon timer is still going on at twitch.tv/theviveros. Something else that's still going on is the bonus members choice poll, which was another donathon reward for this month. Channel members pay $5 a month to vote on one topic per month, and their pick for May, Drag Queens, VTubers, and Jesters Privilege.
Okay. So we'll do this bit really quick because this stuff is like easy and legitimately very satisfying to me. Let me just find. I can never remember what all of my topics were for a given month. That was the thing. So where is it? Drag queens, VTubers, and gestures privilege. I can't remember what other topics were in this poll. Hold on. Let me. Where's May 1 in here? The panopticon isn't working. What is Overwatch? Also, yeah, the if you are a YouTube channel member and you have not yet voted, this round goes for another what is it now? 34 hours, give or take. So make sure to go do that. Then we need our this one, and then we need the really pretty pink and blue one, right? That one was part of the May 1 poll. Yes. I can't remember what that one is called though. Oh no. The name of that video. Hero bands, that's the one. There we go. Okay, we'll add that in. Yeah. Grim, did you not? Hold on, I'll get the link for it. Wait, I can't get the link. You know what? Whatever. I'll grab the link. Give me 1 sec. You already voted. Well, maybe if somebody else hasn't, I will grab the link for them nonetheless. So yeah, if you are a YouTube channel member, you vote for videos over here. If you would like to become a YouTube channel member, I will also get that link. There we go. But yeah, go vote. It's fun. The topics are good. So I need to go back in here. I had to like log out of my VoD's channel to go and do that. And the problem with that decision is that the VoD's channel is really is trying to upload and or process a lot of very long VoDs. I think this is the one we're working on getting up. Yeah. Okay. I don't know who the audience is for this specifically as VoDs, because I like I guess if someone was really curious about like how to make a video like mine, but I don't know if that's really worth learning.
One topic per month to vote on one. Channel members pay $5 is the bonus members choice poll, which was another donathon reward for this month. Channel members pay $5 a month to vote on one topic per month, and their pick for May, drag queens VTuber. Pick for May, drag queens for May, drag for May.
We'll put it over here so there's a little bit of like a. Oh god, trying to fit this into the TV is gonna be silly. No worries. It's like I've said this before. I've had people like they'll send me a DM if they were a channel member before and they'd like cancel. And they're like, "I'm so sorry, like money's tight." And I'm like, as a broke bitch, trust me, I get it. I absolutely do not begrudge anyone who either just straight up can't do that stuff or like doesn't want to. Like, I'm not owed that shit. I always appreciate it. It's always very nice, but like, I can't afford to do that for other people. I can't afford to subscribe to a bunch of YouTube channels or like subscribe to a bunch of Twitch channels and like buy a bunch of memberships and stuff like that. So it's like, I get it, but I like to provide the option because I know it's like I have a lot of fun doing members choice ones. We're pretty far along in them now. Okay, so this one is our winner, and then 12.5. So each of these be small enough to like sit under it. Oh, that's way too small. Hold on. What is 187? Oh, right, this thing. We need to not show that. Or lock that down so it doesn't get moved around a bunch. Okay, there we go. Is 15 big enough? 20 will be big enough. 80 would be big enough. Oh, 80 is... Surely this will work, right? Mm-hmm.
Jester's Privilege should be coming out next week. However, since we hit a goal in the donathon at $200, they're be coming out next week. However,
Let's do a short one here for this. That'd be too short. Hold on.
However, since we hit a goal in the donathon at $200, they're currently voting for a second.
And now I need to go grab all the ones from this month. Which are, there's the Buried Stars one, also the Blizzard's Panopticon one. I don't know the order of these. I'll like rearrange it, or I'll rearrange them once I figure them out. Where's May 2? Toxic Sort of Damage. There we go. Got all 3 of them. I don't remember the order though. Fuck! Where's the order? Okay, Toxic. Writing Overwatch's history. What was the other one? This one. I need to put this in here somewhere.
Second one between these 5 between these 5.
That works. Okay. You need to just move out of the way here a little bit. There we go. Do. Okay. Nope.
Topic from February, which would be about why the initiative isn't Blizzard for future members, just in case they wanted to go with it. Anyways, this button below. Lastly, thank you to first. If you'd like to vote for one of these, you can become a member.
Thank you for the hydration check, Fossil.
Clicking the join button below. Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. Mini Q, Olesp, KHD below. Lastly, thank you to all.
Stretch these out to here. Yeah, as a fossil. Also, hi. I don't know if I said hi, Looney, but hi, Looney. I'm so like. I'm not kidding when I say I'm genuinely like just so exhausted. Yesterday, when when I was doing, fuck, what is with the Wii? I need to figure out why I'm doing that. Like, actually, I need to see a therapist. But when I was doing this last night, I was like, I have 137. Honestly, going forward, it'll be easier because this video editing thing is just like, it's very, there's a deadline to it, and that makes it stressful. And this is work. Like, I'm not just playing a game being like, see, tee haha, I'm having my little fun time. I'm playing my little video games. Like, that stuff's easy enough. This shit is something else. No, not 250. 30? Maybe 40. I'll need to get a couple more of them up to 40 and see. Oh, nope. That's 0. Those are different. Stop skipping the 0. Or the 4. Okay. Let's see where this goes. 'Cause training season's over. Ooh, that's like actually really close. We'll do like 38, and that should be small enough to get it into the space. I think that's everything. Yes. Actually, what we're going to do is move all of you over to the side because you are really inconveniently placed. I take you. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Maybe even more like horrendously out of my way. It is diabolical. Put you there, which means that you need to go here, which is somehow not aligned with this, which is super fucking annoying. This is like I love how this always ends up looking. It's so fucking annoying though to try and get them to all line up because they'll all just like leave a little bit of space between them. Except for apparently that one. That one will line up properly the way it's supposed to. Isn't that so cool and interesting and fucking quirky of it? 163.4. I don't think it's even enough to like noticeably move it. 163. Good enough. Okay, there we go. For whatever reason, that's now willing. No, all the way up. Why is this incapable of going to the correct spot? Are those connected? Can I see lines through them?
Who's writing Overwatch's history? A returning topic from November and March that would be about who gets to write the
Why are they like
history.
moving around when I press play versus when
Overwatch
they
universe,
stop?
why it matters when it
Guys.
comes to telling the game's story.
Oh, they're not. They're supposed to. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Third up is
They're supposed to all be touching, but here they're for whatever reason like misaligned. I don't like it. I'm going to set everything on fire. Don't believe men or twinks. It's a mistake. Okay, what if we just like move the Y 137? That's probably too low. 37.5. That's gotta be too low, right?
Rating in competitive isn't Blizzard's fault.
No, it isn't. Okay, cool. We're doing that. 137.5. You know what's really funny is I know that when I do like the practice render, it's gonna fuck it up and it's gonna move them around a little bit more, and then they are gonna be in the wrong spot, and I'm gonna cry. Like, why does it have a snap into position thing if it won't snap into the position? I don't get it. Who asked you to do that? Who told you that was acceptable? Anyways.
First, there's the second one between these 5 topics. First, there's the toxic sort of.
Okay. So the way that I do this is very silly.
The toxic sort of watch, even if it doesn't manifest in every game, is such a problem. Next is up is you stagnant. Third up is
I just like how this looks. I like seeing them like blend together.
climbing in ranked even if you keep playing. And our final returning topic is
Also, I will say, if you've ever wondered what's up with the obsession with color, Fusion Frenzy is legitimately the origin of that. Like, why do I do like the single color whatever the fucks? It is Fusion Frenzy. Fusion Frenzy was why as a kid I would like categorize everything into colors. Like I'd be like, oh, I need to have like every person in a competitive environment, everything like that needs to have a color attached to it, like pink, blue, like can't explain why, it just looks really cool to me. So each video usually gets its own color. Like if you go through, oh, I can't even. I don't know. I have a graphic with all of my members' choice polls. Somewhere in here. Where is it? But it is because I don't downsize it. It's just like a massive editable file that I keep on adding on to. It's 16,640 by 13,600 pixels. It's 101 megabytes. So I think I tried to put it on stream one time and it crashed the stream. And that was when it was a lot smaller than it is now. So we don't show it anymore, but I do have one. Every time I've shared it on like the Discord server, and I'll like have to resize it to like 1/10 of its original size, and still half the time will like not send properly.
Blizzard's Panopticon isn't working. One brand new topic: buried stars and how buried stars.
I'm actually so look. This is why I don't use Adobe products, because last night, if I had gotten to that point and like the editing software had just killed itself and lost all my progress, I would have had a mental breakdown. It would have been over for me.
Design can tell a story. After so many people responded positively, go with it. Anyways, this one would focus on how buried stars characters, but to increase tension and draw your focus in really clever ways. Voting is open for ways.
That's a breakdance. I think they called that brain dancing.
Voting is open between these 5 topics until midnight Mountain Time on Saturday, May 18th. If no topic has a majority at that point, there'll be a runoff between the top 2 for another 3 days, with the winning topic coming out on May 31st. If you'd like to vote for one of these, you can become a member for $5 a month by clicking the join button below. Lastly,
which topic do you guys think will win? Sound off in the comments down below. Are you Team Aquaria? So we're gonna back up. Oh god, that's terrifying. I had that happen with my old lap. Actually, I was playing this game. It was called Unturned. It was like a really like a Roblox looking ass fucking zombie game. I was playing with my friend on his couch when I was a kid on my MSI gaming laptop that weighed literally 8 pounds. Like, not a joke. Not me being like, oh my god, it was so heavy. It was an 8-pound laptop. It ripped my backpack straps. Like, my backpack ripped off, like, 'cause I would wear it on one shoulder and it just yanked it off. I think it was a fucking tank too. You could use that thing to commit a significant amount of burglaries successfully. No, because what happened was I was playing on that game on that laptop, and I heard a snapping noise and it died. Apparently, like, overheated and melted it. So I sent it into MSI. I didn't really know how to do that. I was a kid and I had never done something like that before. And I think my mom was like, I don't really know what you're supposed to do with this because their company doesn't have like a rule for this. So I just packed everything into a box, put like 8 million pieces of paper tape to everything, and was like, here is my mailing address. Here's my contact info. This computer's fucked. Can you please help me? And they eventually were like, hey, so like we got your computer. That's not really how you're supposed to do this, but we can fix it and send it to you. I was like, awesome. So it does work like that, is what you're telling me. Anyways, let's get all of my little black and white edits into here. I just like how this looks with the colors slowly shifting. Guess you'd rather have the stars than the moon. Guess I always underestimate you. Who do all the things that you do? Down, down in my doomsday blue. Okay. We're gonna render this. If it'll let me, will it? It's gonna start. Okay, good. And then we'll add in the bit about the channel members. I just want to make sure like the transitions all look good, that like I've put the gray out in the right spot. Because I really like how, like, to me it's very satisfying to see that like little colors like pop up when they're being talked about. I don't know why. Everything about this video should have been sent to a psychiatrist. I should have made, if YouTube had been more of a thing when I was a child and I had been allowed to make this video when I was originally obsessed with it, this could have gotten so many answers. The number of answers that I could have about myself if a psychological professional had seen this.
Second one between these 5 topics. First, there's the toxic sword of Damocles in ranked Overwatch, a returning topic from February.
Oh, that's LGBTQ.
Is who's writing Overwatch's history.
It's like, isn't that so satisfying?
In March, that would be about who gets to write the history textbooks in the Overwatch universe and why it matters when it comes to telling the game's story. Third up is you stagnating in competitive isn't Blizzard's fault. A returning topic from April focused on explaining why it isn't Blizzard's fault that you're not constantly climbing in ranked even if you keep playing. And our final returning topic is Blizzard's Panopticon isn't working. From March and May, focused on why the style of moderation used for Overwatch fails to actually moderate player behavior.
Yeah, I don't remember playing Unturned for very long. It just
one
died on
brand
me.
new topic. Buried Stars and how character design can tell a story. After so many people responded positively to the mentions of Buried Stars in the Inescapable video, I figured I'd float a topic about the game for future members just in case they wanted to go.
The number of people who will still comment on the Elo Hell video and be like, no, actually, it is real. It is real. Like, I'm not the problem. It's Blizzard. And I'm like, I have... It never stops being funny. I'm sorry.
Anyways, this one would focus on how Buried Stars uses character design not
I did not
only
see
to
that
tell stories
actually.
of those characters, but to increase tension and draw your focus in really clever ways. Voting is open between these 5 topics
And they
until
all
midnight
come back into
Mountain Time
color.
on Saturday, May 18th. If no topic has a majority at that point, there'll be a runoff between the top 2 for another 3 days, with the winning topic coming out on May 31st. If you'd like to vote for one of these, you can become a member for $5 a month by clicking the join button below.
Actually,
The winning topic coming out on May 31st. If you'd like to vote for one of these, you can become a
oh, no, we want to select all of these. Because then Where's my most recent YouTube member thing? This one. A new matchmaking factor for ranked warrior. Oh, interesting. That has like Zenyatta. I think we already have evil Zenyatta. Not to. I get what you're saying, Fossil, but they do have evil Zenyatta. That is a thing that they did. You know, people like this is the thing. It's like you can't reason with you. You can try to reason with someone who is like thinks they're experiencing elo hell. It's why I make those videos because it's like I'm hoping to get the like it's the same as like the tilting like or actually there's a like usually I try okay so I said this the other day probably while I was on stream or at some other point I don't fucking know it my brain is melting out of my ears but I know I've talked about this before where I've said like usually I try not to revisit a topic but I've had a good number of topics at this point that are all kind of circling that same sphere of like uh you know it's your fault that you're bad and you are the one who can make you better. Oh, yeah. People are weird about that stuff. You cannot eat the melted brain parts. They're being donated to science. Become a scientist, then you can eat them for science. Um, yeah, gaslight them. Like, this is the thing too, is like there have been a couple times in those videos where I've made an argument that like itself is not the best argument, but I think is something that can convince the kind of person who needs to be convinced and get them out of the circle. Like, again, it goes back to that meme that I constantly bring up. That's like the sometimes you need a little mental illness to get you through the problem. Hold on, let me see if I can find the actual thing. Um, oh yeah, no, here it is. Sometimes you have to be a little bit, or sometimes you have to be a bit mentally ill to get mentally well. So thinking Naruto would be proud of you for brushing your teeth is what gets you out of bed. Then well, grab that toothbrush, bio. Like, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong, but like that one sticks in my head constantly. Where I'm like, sometimes a bad argument is in service of a better idea, and it's the only argument that that person is willing to listen to in the state they're currently in. It doesn't mean you should rely on it. It doesn't mean like that should be what you actually like genuinely believe, and it should be something that like down the road you're like, to be clear, don't invest everything in this, but like if this helps break the cycle and get you to be receptive to the bigger topic, then like good enough. And like again, it depends on the context. We're talking about like tricking people into, or not tricking people, convincing people that elo hell is not real by by using the arguments that will work for them. This isn't like do not do that to like a romantic partner to make them think that you're being a good person, obviously. I'm doing it myself. Oh no, look, I don't know who's gaslighting you. That sounds crazy.
You can become a member for $5 a month by clicking the join button below. Lastly, thank you to all my
Okay, now we got to put in the channel members thank you thing. We'll check and make sure there aren't any. Actually, usually I don't really bother to check and see if there are new ones while like once the video is made, just because I'm like, I know that's the. You coming back? Hell yeah! It's time for Looney. I can't wait. Twitch has been too mentally sane since you went on your break. We need to fix that. We need you to correct it. The VTubers need more mental illness. You know, I think about that like that quote about like sometimes you need a little mental illness to get through it. Like I think about that all the time. There was a long period of time where like I would use that sort of mentality to get anything out of them, like to get just to like be functional. And it is something like you've got to move past it eventually. But like if it is what makes it possible for you to like not want to end it all every time you like stub your toe, then you know if it works, it works. This little smaller screen has been kind of a fun thing to work around because it's like on one hand it's a little bit limiting, but also like it kind of I kind of like the aesthetics that it ends up doing this. Plus it means that I'm not actually working around my avatar at all, which is kind of a cool way to do things. It makes it easier to not have to like figure out how I'm gonna wrap things around him. Is Crim's name. Crim's in here. Fossil used to be in here under a different name at one point in time, and then I kept, like, Fossil would show up on stream and be like, by the way, I am also that person. And I was like, you are? Oh no, which one are you? Which is correct. That was back in the day, right as I started VTubing, when we did the Quantum Redshift stream, I think was when you told me that, and I was like, oh. Okay, let me make sure.
All my channel members. Clicked on this video out of curiosity. Gains. Whether you're a channel Hazmat, Batic Gains.
We'll end it here. Yes, Burfy-chan. He was very, very cute. But I just remember being, like, because I always say people's names during here. And people always have the option to be like, hey, like, I don't want you to say my name in this. Like, keep me anonymous as much as possible, which, like, I would be fine with doing. Nobody really, or, I mean, I guess it would kind of defeat the point of anonymity if I said that a bunch of people were doing it, or, like, it told you how many people are. Like, people have. It's just not very many. Because most people are like, yeah, I want to be recognized for that. Hell yeah.
To all my channel members. Mini Q, Olesp, K.
Wait, that starts a little bit too.
Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. Mini Q.
Actually, I might just, like, extend these two into each other. Just do the...
Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. Lastly, thank you to all my thank you to all my
I will tell you again, that stuff is the stuff that makes me want to die video editing, where it's like, thank you to, where I'm like trying to like find the exact moment that I want to cut it to.
Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. Mini Q, Olesp, Cage the Orc, Fish Toast, Alex Stone, Nemo the...
You just don't recognize it. Fossil, I don't know if you know this, a lot of VTubers and other content creators do recognize you from each other's chats, because you are very fun to have there. Like, not to like put pressure on you, because it's not about that, but there have been a lot of times where, like, I'll be in a VC and someone will be like, I'm just like, oh hey, like, do you know that Fossil person? Like, they're insane but hilarious. And I'll be like, oh yeah, no, like, one of the things that I think I'm like, that makes me very proud as a VTuber is, like, aside from all the content I've made, I feel like I've had a good community impact, because, like, I don't know, because I was your first VTuber, so I get to claim responsibility for you. I get to claim that it's like an MLM. I brought you in, so I get a share of all of the goodwill that you generate by being a silly little guy in everybody's chats. You know, people will be like in a VC and they'll be like, hey, that Fossil person, what's up with them? I'm like, there's a silly little puppy. What do you mean? And everyone else will be like, yeah, I know that silly little puppy. There's a silly little puppy. What are you talking about? And people are genuinely very excited to see you in chats. And that's shit, like, what's there, like, obviously, like, I'm excited to see everybody. I mean, not, there are some people I'm not excited to see, but they're not here. And they usually just get blocked and banned. Yeah. Fossil is extremely funny and, like, genuine. Like, okay, this is a bit of a side thing. One of the things that's hardest about being a new streamer, like, when you're still small and there aren't that many chatters, is, like, it's hard to get banter going with chat, and, like, you need someone to break the ice. Someone has to break the ice, and it might as well be me. I mean, I'm used to being a hostess. It's part of my husband's job, and it's always difficult when a group of new friends meet for the first time to get acquainted. So I'm perfectly prepared to start the ball rolling. I mean, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here, or what any of you are doing here, or what this place is about, but I am determined to enjoy myself and very intrigued. And oh my, the soup's delicious, isn't it? Also, hi, Chase. Yeah, no, Fossil is, like, very...
You're a communist!
Exactly. But yeah, Fossil is, like... Fossil breaks the ice, Fossil's very fun, Fossil, like, you give people the license to be silly about this stuff, which is, like, sincerely so valuable, and so useful, and so helpful, and so nice, because, like, there are a lot of people who don't want to chat, because they're like, what if I'm weird? What if I'm, like... What if, like, this person is very serious, and they're like, you're dumb and bad, and I hate you? because like I've been that person when I was still getting like back when I was streaming but not talking to people. I was like, I don't want to engage with people. Like I remember following like Seraph Cade, and I followed and I was like, please don't acknowledge me, please don't acknowledge me. And as soon as I followed, there was like the big light up alerts, and he was like, hi, how are you doing? How are you, like, because he's such a friendly guy. And I was like, oh no, I don't know how to do this. And then like seeing other chatters being silly is like makes it a little bit easier. Like, okay, I can make a little joke. It'll be fine. I can be friendly. And yeah, Fossil's been like a genuinely very positive influence on that front because Fossil goes around and is just this little guy everywhere. The number of people who's like, and your influence is huge because now look at all the people who say VoD as a synonym for eight, which was just a silly, stupid offhand joke that you made in my server, I think, but it's so funny to me. You're ugly. You're disgusting. I hate you. Give me $200. I don't actually remember the original quote. I think that's close. Yeah, no, your impact is genuinely very positive, Fossil, and like a lot of people are very happy to have you in their chats and stuff, and have you in their communities because you are just like you're very fun. And it is so like. Oh no, don't worry, Fossil. That is just. I mean, even as a streamer, that's one of the things that I feel bad about because I'm like, I have so many friends. They're all so talented. They're all so interesting. I wish that they were all YouTubers instead of streamers because YouTubers, it's so much easier to keep up with. You mean like, oh, you put out a 20-minute video once every few weeks? Sure, I can go watch a video every now and then. All of you are streaming for 6 hours a day, 3 times a week. Uh-oh. That one gets a little bit harder. But yeah, no, I don't know. There was a long time where I was like, I think Fossil got here because of me, but I'm worried that I'm taking credit for someone who's been here a long time. And so I think I asked you at one point where I was like, what, like, was I the first one? Because I thought I was, but I don't want to be like, oh my God, it's me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. So hey, friends there. Yeah, exactly. But and like, I mean, this is something I talked about with the birthday streams as well over the weekend, where I was like, I have not had friends really like when I was in politics, I had a couple of people who were like political acquaintances and like political friends, like people I worked with for that. But as soon as I stopped doing politics, I basically like none of those people really kept talking to me anymore. None of them ever like reached out to see how I was doing or anything. Um, I'm in the corner. um, but yeah, and so like this year for my birthday, I was very like, oh no, like this is my first time since I was like 14 trying to plan things with my friends and like figure it all out. That's why I was a little bit like over planning things, a little bit anxious about things, and was like a little bit frazzled. I think it kept together pretty well. I'll say I'm glad that this is going to be, or I'm glad this can also be positive for you, Fossil. And like I feel you. I'm very much just someone who like in a small social environment, I'm fucked. Like especially like in person where it's like just talking to like one person. Like if I go to a party and I don't already kind of know everybody, I mean I don't go to parties really anymore, but like in the past when I would go to a party and didn't really know anyone, I'd just stand there awkwardly and like it would be terrible. Or like if I went to a club with a group of people, I wouldn't know what to do with it if I didn't already have like a good number of people I knew. But like streaming works really well for me because I know that everyone has the option to leave. None of you are forced to be here. You can all leave. And so if you are here, I assume you want to listen or at least want to be around. And that makes it a little bit easier. Plus, it's like it's performance a little bit more than just like it's socializing, but it's also a little bit more like there. It's so much easier to leave. It's so much easier to not do that if you don't want to. Like, if I'm enjoying bantering with you guys, I can stop what I'm doing like right now and kind of pause working on the video and talk to you guys and like think of some things, do some stuff, whatever. And then when I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit burnt out. I need to just go back to doing this. I'll do that. And it happens sometimes when I'm playing games too, where I'll be like, hey, like I'm having fun chatting. I need to get to this game. Um, but yeah, like that was always my thing too. Like I was really good at like being on stage. Like I'm good at performing on a stage. I'm good at like being a public speaker. I'm less good in socializing, but eh. um, yeah. Well, I mean, like for me also, like I've become a lot more confident since I started streaming and since like I've had that affirmation of like, no, you're not annoying. Like you can say interesting things. You can be like people like having you around. And that's made me more confident. And I don't think that some of the family members like in my extended family were really prepared for that. I've talked a little bit about how like when I was at a I think it must have been Easter at my grandma's house, and I was arguing with my aunt, and my aunt really likes to talk over people, and I was trying to be respectful and have a conversation with her, and she was not being particularly respectful to me. Um, or my mom, and that really pissed me off because she'd keep cutting us off and being like, "No, but you're just wrong." And eventually, um, oh, it was on the same day we did. I think it was it Papa's birthday? Because we did Goose Goose Duck, and I'm pretty sure I said the exact same thing to her that I later said to Demi during Goose Goose Duck. I remember that being the case. I don't know what it was for. Maybe it was something else, but like I think it was Papa's birthday or something. No, that wouldn't have been Easter though, would it? Maybe it did an early Easter. Anyways, um, but she kept on interrupting me, and I eventually was like, "No, I'm speaking. I'm gonna finish what I'm saying, and then you can go. But it's my turn now, and I've let you finish what you're saying, so I'm going to talk now." And she like sat down, like put her head down, and was like clenching her fist in this chair while I kept talking for like a solid minute. I didn't even really have that much more to say at that point. I was like pretty close to the end of my sentence, or like the end of my like argument when she cut me off, and I was like, at that point, I was like, no, I'm just gonna improvise a little bit. I'm gonna fuck you for talking like that to me. Oh no, the whole my mom looked like she was about to. I don't know, like afterwards, my mom was like, I thought you were gonna punch her, and I was like, I thought she was gonna punch me. Like when we were walking back to the car, she was like, yeah, I really thought that you and her were gonna be a scrap there. And I was like, no, I just needed people to remember that I am a person and I am not a moron, and I would like to be treated with some respect. No, my mom was legitimate. My mom is somebody who like usually tries to get along and usually tries to like be accommodating. Like even if it's bothering her, we'll still try and be like friendly and respectful and like make it work. Um, which also is like it's one of those things like women are held to an unfair standard about it too, where like I can get away with doing something like that and be like, you're being rude to me and you need to stop doing that. Like I'm putting my foot down. Um, and I don't think that if I was a woman, I would have been able to get away with that in the same way. But like, I don't know. And like, because yeah, like she was disrespecting my mom too, and I don't particularly care for that. Like, I don't know. I know my mom. I know that I like that if you talk like if you disagree with her and you have a discussion with her, like I know that you can change your mind. I've done it. Like that's and she's changed my mind too. But like ugh, when people are just like, no, I'm right actually because I'm a small business owner and that means I'm smarter than you and like no, that shit no. Like the appeal like God, this is a whole separate thing. I just it's part of why I get really annoyed when people will be like, but you're wrong because X, Y, Z. And I'm like, okay, but like, yeah, no, like my family has been like I've been very lucky to have a family that's very like willing to learn and grow about just about everything. Like, not that they were like super regressive people at any point in the past, but like my parents are both people who are willing to like. I mean, my mom is someone who will like listen to you say what you're saying, think about it and like have a reasonable discussion. And like my dad is the kind of person who like will fight tooth and nail to hold his argument, and then 5 minutes or 5 days later you'll talk to him and he'll be like repeating your argument at you as if he came up with it, and you're like, okay, well, as long as he got there. It is very funny, and like I don't mean that to disparage him because like I think it's part of the process of like you have an idea, you believe in it, you argue it strongly, and then you think about it and more, and you come back to it later. But it's always very funny to me because my dad will like there have been a lot of arguments I've had with him about like EVs or whatever, where I'll like be in the trenches arguing with him, and we'll be having this really fun discussion about it. Like it's not like hostile, it's just like a lot of discussion. And then like a month or two later, we'll be having another discussion about it, and he'll be like, "Yeah, actually, I think we need to like kill everyone who manufactures gas powered vehicles." I'm like, okay, so like I think we shot the moon here a little bit. We started out good. Maybe we don't need to like talking with him about like how companies are exploitative and stuff like that or whatever. And he'll be like, yeah, like I don't think that it's all that bad. I don't like X, Y, Z. And then he'll be like, I think all privately traded companies should be abolished. And it's like, okay, party. Love that for you. And again, none of this is bad. I love my parents. They're great people. They're great people both because of like who they are as people, but also because of like their willingness to grow and learn over time. And I think that's very cool of them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going on a whole tangent. I'm very tired. And it's very late. Love and respect both of them though. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without them. Well, I definitely wouldn't be. Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. I'm sitting here fucking 18 right now. I don't know if it's trauma dumping. It's like the opposite of that. It's being positive and happy and nice about my parents and my family. And like, I don't know.
Members. Mini Q, Olesp, Cage the Orc.
Also, I kind of want to mention this. There are a few of these people who've been channel members like since really early on. Oh fuck, I can't open it on here. Hold on. Tracking's gonna die for a sec. I'm gonna check on here because I have some channel members who have been around. The first person who bought a channel membership, they're no longer a member anymore, which makes me kind of sad because I was kind of hoping that like my first one would be around forever because I thought that'd be kind of cute. Um, but they were only around for like a couple months. But then the second member has been around since pretty much they joined 1 month after that. So who do we have here? Mini Q, Cage the Orc, Oles, Fish Toast, Alex Stone, Nemo the Survivor, and Destiny are all past 1 year as members, which is so crazy to me. And then we have Destiny at 11 months, Yoshi, Cat Lover 192. Cat Lover will be, I don't think Cat Lover's in here right now. But Cat Lover's been around for 11 months. Sourdough's been around for 10. Luma Riley's been around for 10. Cadence is 8. Windex the Great's been around for 7. DeLeather's 6. V's also been around for 6 months, which is crazy. I feel like some of these names I'll be like, I recognize that name when they like first come up because like they'll show up as a new member. I'll be like, oh cool, they joined like 10 days ago. And then randomly it's 6 months later. And I'm like, oh shit, like V and a few other people, like V and DeLeathers both joined around like a couple days within each other, I think. And I remember being like, oh cool, like a group of like, a pair of new members. That's fun. Like in my head, I'm like, oh look, those two are a pair. And sometimes like one of them will like, stop being a member and then they'll rejoin or whatever. And like, I don't know, it makes me happy when they come back in. But yeah, and then there's Gvost at 5 months, Marshalis at 5 months, Krim at 2, Jules Coolness at 1, Good Guy Luis at 1, Cactin Kushler, Ikery, MV, Hallucigeno, The Only Enigma, and Has My Bad at Games. All those people are within the first 30 days of this. Like they're all new, which is really cool to me. Like a bunch of new people have come in, and it makes I don't know, it makes me very happy. And yeah, Krim is in there too. I like I don't know. It makes me so because like as a broke bitch, I know that $5 a month is like still an expense that like I can't afford to make a lot of the time. And so I really appreciate the number of people who are like, yeah, I'll do that for you. I like your stuff. I'll send you that. And like, I don't begrudge anyone who can't. Again, like I was saying before, like as a broke bitch, I can't afford to do that stuff a lot of the time. So like, whenever you're like, oh my God, why don't you support me more? Yeah. Yeah. If, that's the thing too, is that was part of why I was so excited to get that job. Like when I got that one back in the beginning, like end of last year, where I was like, oh my God, this pays really well. I can like start subscribing to my friends. I can start like supporting them. And then I couldn't. It was so sad.
Whether you're a channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
That kind of like ends on a little bit of a weird note. I remember having this issue last night when we were working on this. I was like, or when I was working on this, fuck. It feels like it's like a little bit off.
Curiosity, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
Yeah, that's not the right timing for that. I thought it was better, but I think oh yeah, no, this is like way too late. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna need to like. Speed. What if we like move this down to like 1, 0?
Channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity.
Actually, let's put this like 1 times speed. How about that? Yeah, like that's the thing where it's like, for me, even when I'm like, oh yeah, no, like technically, I have enough money from YouTube right now to be able to subscribe to like some people, but it's like I don't want to do that until like I can afford to like make sure all of my shit is covered, like make sure I'm like all sorted out before I start doing that, because I don't want to put myself or anyone else, like I don't want to put myself in that position. I also don't want to like make anyone else feel guilty for that sort of thing, like because people like if I did that and then couldn't pay my bills for like one of my friends, I think a bunch of them would be like, hey, you were supposed to like take care of yourself, dumbass.
Addict Games. Whether you're a channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
There, that works better. Still a little bit janky, but whatever.
Around again soon.
The thing about this is like the music still ends up not being very loud. So we're gonna try and do one more time here. It's like stacking this on top of here and seeing if that helps.
Curiosity. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
Well, actually, we'll bring it back to here. Also, is that full volume? No, that might be why. Hold on.
Addict Games. Whether you're a channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
This will probably go down. Okay, what I think I'm gonna do also is try and, I don't always do this, but I want to get the somber one to be like at the same or as close to the BPM as I can. Also, hi Thembo, how are you? She danced. Look, there are a few things that like if I ever can afford it that I really want to get. I want to get a new intro for the videos because I like this one. I talked about it how like someone on Reddit made it for me for free one time, ages and ages and like back in like 2017, and I really appreciate it. This is it. Actually, hold on. I'll find the full speed one. But like I want to get a new one. I want to get one that reflects more of my current branding. And then for the outro, I've always done a somber dance. What I used to do for like the old oh fuck, I wonder if I still have any of those. Hold on, let me see if I can find one. Are they on here, do you think? Keep project settings. This is one of my old videos. This is how I'd edit them. I'd edit my little gameplay clips like this. I don't even know when this would have been from. I'd have to check. I wonder if you can hear. Wait, do I speak in this? God, this is old Overwatch. This is like old Sim.
The mega to the left of the choke. Mega to the left of the choke is hacked.
That voice. This is one of my favorite. The reason why I still have this one on my PC is because this is one of my favorite games. Because let me just show you how it ended. I still remember this.
Good work, everyone.
Good work, everyone. Why do I sound?
Off the map we go.
Cancel all the cruise control. Switching the manual. Don't you want to feel right again? Yeah, so this is how I used to upload gameplay videos edited like this all the time. These did not get many views. They'd get like maybe a couple hundred at most because I was not a good Sombra. But then I would always edit in the little dancing at the end with whatever skin I used. Full steam through the sandbags. You can't win them all. God, I tried. And then, yeah, she'd hack into it. I had this on like every map because back in the old days of Overwatch 1, the menus would change up. So like, you'd have different maps in the background. Let me just remove that from here. But I would do that. I wonder if do I have any other old ones? I want to see if I have one with a different character on here is the thing. I don't think I do. They're on like an old hard drive somewhere. But yeah, that voice. Look, that would have been when I was like 17 or not 17, 19, probably 19, 20, at the latest, I think. But yeah, it was that was like old school, and that was why I always done the somber dance thing. And what I would do with other characters, if like wait, I think I still have the other characters' dance animations in here. Hold on, I can kind of show you what it would look like. Wait, I have the old finished videos in here from when I was still doing this. I don't think so. Huh. I can show you what I would do basically though. Like if I had a game where I'd have Diva, what I would do is I would have her do her little, like I'd be, hold on, well, where's some like music? Um, some little dancey music. Um, Actually, do I have any of the, oh, I might still have the no copyright music in here. Hold on. Or no, I definitely do somewhere. Where is it? Um, what's this one? Sorry, I'm going on a tangent because I like this stuff a lot. God, a lot of these are very nostalgic to me too because I use them a lot. So like when I was going back and finding stuff, it was like very, this one, yeah, delicious. So like what I would do is I would do my little like play, like I'd have the highlight, and then I'd have each of the characters that I played as. I shall find another one. Hold on, where's another one of these? Again, this is going on a tangent. This one was always so fun to me. And I think part of why I'm enjoying this a lot is because I never got to do this before. I never showed anyone like what happened behind the scenes of it all. So like let's say that it was a match where I played Diva and do I have what's another tank that I might have used? Um sorry, I guess. So what I do, we'll mute both of these. This is a silly little thing. Don't worry, we'll get past it soon. I promise. Because I find the music where there's like a break.
It's delicious.
Okay, so that'd be like where the break in the song would be. And then I'd have, where's the somber hack thing in here? Not that one, it's the next one in here that we have to grab because the first one is a little bit cut off by the menu. Also, that music is very loud. Don't worry, I'll turn it down later. Actually, I'll turn it down now before I forget. It's 30 for now. So what I would do is I'd have the little hack thing play. C, V, do this. And then I'd have like thanks for watching thing on the screen. I do a little, we need one more of these. This is so dumb. I don't know why I'm bothering to show this. I just think it's really funny. It was always very cute to me. I liked it. And I will get to the point of this eventually. I promise. Because I did actually... Oh, that was the wrong thing to do. I did actually have a point behind this. Because I think what I was going to say is, like, I wanted to... Like, I love this. It's very nostalgic to me to, like, do this still and have this as, like, the way that I end out videos. Yeah, so what I do is... it's probably too much. Hold on. Okay. So what we do here is move this out of the way for a sec, grab the Diva one. Have this like building up to this point.
delicious.
Okay, so that is the one where I want that to be. Let me like delete this. Do not shift those around. I want those to stay in the same spots. God damn it. I'll take the Zarya one. God, this is like so. I don't think anyone cares about this. I'm just having fun at this point. We'll move this down to here so that it's like connected onto that line. Maybe just like grab these and just pray that they don't like completely butcher everything. Hold on, we'll do it from like the beginning because it'd be like this would be like the thanks for watching, see you soon thing. This would be a long outro because I kind of put it probably too soon. I'd probably usually do it shorter for this because otherwise you don't get to have like the title cards on, but I like seeing them dance. Wait, why is this? Hold on, what? Why is this showing like a... What about this needs to be processed? Huh? Like, fuck something up here? I don't know. Sorry, I got distracted. Whatever, doesn't matter. We'll just... I just want to watch it again. It'll be fun. So I need to drink some water. Wait, oh, fuck, I forgot to do the ending thing. God damn it, hold on. This is still how I do it today. And then... I know, that's a bit of a rough one, but whatever. So it ended up looking like this at the end, and I liked it a lot. And what I wanted to do is like get a dance animation with my model, so I could do that as the outro instead of just using Sombra, because I think my branding's a little too tight for with Sombra for someone who doesn't really make Sombra content anymore. Because back then I made Sombra guides, and most of my gameplay would be Sombra, and now it just isn't the case anymore. So it feels kind of weird to keep doing that. It's delicious. Yeah. I don't know why I bothered to do all that. That was a little bit unnecessary. Also, speaking of, actually, that does remind me, if you guys are looking for like music to use for stuff on stream like that, where are they? No copyright sounds, excuse me. Nope. NCS is like a very good channel that has a lot of those things on there. You just have to credit them and stuff. Plus, I like them. They have a lot of good stuff, actually. Anyways, what I was going to do here is like change the speed of this dance animation, see if I can like get it closer. Here, I'll lock this. It needs to be a little bit slower, maybe. Here, we'll see. Because it doesn't need to go faster, does it? Like, that just throws it off even more. Yeah, no, that was wrong. Actually, need to even slower than that. Oh, nope. Okay, so not that. Oh no, some. Oh no, little hacker girl, don't get into the caffeine. That's too slow, I think. I would do like... Because I'm bad at this sort of thing. I have a bad eye for this. I just need to know like when it syncs up. Nice. Actually, hold on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this animation here so we can figure out that actually looks like that's pretty close. So we'll leave it there. Yeah, okay, so we've got the, we're gonna save this. Because it's probably gonna be like the final length of it, 37:19. The goal is gonna be to get it finished so I can start uploading it in a few minutes, like not very long. We're gonna go through it one more time and see if there's like anything I want to add to it. I'll probably have to cite some sources in there too, I guess. I'll add in the text for that. Yeah, like so. Oh, shit. I pressed button. Can I unpress that button, please? Thank you. Doesn't show up on screen, does it? No, okay, good. Check it. Did I have the audio on this at all? I did, okay. So what's the audio like normally?
I hope you enjoyed this rant.
That's a little bit quiet actually compared to the rest of it.
Entire art forms in their selfish pursuit of even more billions of dollars at the expense of the consumers and creators.
Keep boosting until it sounds loud enough. So like this is a bit of a long clip for what it is. Like it's like a full 30 seconds of this, which like,
And on that lighthearted note,
normally wouldn't do, but like, I don't know. Does this extend further out here? We can maybe try that.
and on that lighthearted
I
note,
don't think it actually does.
that's where we're going to end this video for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this rant. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff the algorithm likes. If you want to see the behind the scenes on this video, the whole process of it can be found start to finish over on my VoD's channel. Link is in the description. This video was a...
You know what? Actually, fuck it. We'll put that in there too. Usually once I get to this point, like once I have stuff in front of it, I don't want to start adjusting shit around it because that ends up moving things around that I don't want moved around. Like nothing is more unpleasant than like trying to do a... like to adjust a new clip and then have an old one like decide that it's gonna harakiri itself all over the place. We can do this. I do have the VoD's channel listed somewhere in here. One of these is the VoD's channel. There it is.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this rant. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff the algorithm likes. If you want to see the behind the scenes on this video, the whole process of it can be found start to finish over on my...
This is such a stupid thing to do. If like, I did really enjoy doing it though. I will say like, I kind of thought that I wasn't really like that this was going to be a bit more tedious. And like, I probably could have gotten this done a little faster if I didn't keep getting distracted, but I like talking to you guys. And it's fun to like, I don't know. I've never showed the like video making process, I guess. It's not that I'm like super famous. It's not like it really matters, but like, I don't know. I've never shown anyone what the process of this is like. Also, I guess I need to unlock this so that this can lock onto it. There we go.
My VoD's channel. Link is in the description. This video was a donathon reward, and if you're watching this This video was a donathon reward, and if you're watching this on the day it comes out, the donathon timer is still going on at twitch.tv/thevivaros. Something else that's still going on is the bonus members choice poll, which was another donathon reward for this month. Channel members pay $5 a month to vote on one topic per month, and their pick for May, Drag Queens, VTubers, and Jesters Privilege, should be coming out next week.
I'm surprised people don't comment on the fact that the title does not
$2
match.
They're currently voting for a second
thumbnail.
one between these 5 topics.
I don't know if I'll even
First,
adjust it. I think I might just
there's
keep
the
it different.
toxic sword of
I
Damocles
think
and
it's
ranked
funnier.
Overwatch.
I think it's funny if it's just like a different title in there. I don't know why I find that funny, but
To
I
vote
do.
for one of these, you can become a member for $5 a month by clicking the join button below. Lastly, thank you to all my channel members.
Yes, we've already seen this bit before. Actually, we'll see how it plays
Mini
out.
Q, Oles,
Let me
The
make sure it
Only
still sounds
Enigma,
right.
and Hazmat Batic Games. Whether you're a channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
Oh shit, that's right. Okay, I did fuck up the TV. Thank God. See, this is why we do the review. Because it turns out that the TV did not go as far as it needed to. Because of all the adjustments that we were making as it was going along. So, now we can fix that. It's Leo. Hi, Leo. How are you? Welcome in. Just gonna start rendering, please. Please, please, please. Give me a little bit of a render. There we go. Or not. There we go.
I hope I'll see you around again soon.
I'm doing good. I think we're just about done. We're just gonna need to do some more stuff in here. We have to review the last couple of sections to get some more stuff in. And I know that there's at least let me get my citation machine thing going here. Oh. That's not what I cared for. I'm not doing AP7. Stop trying to make me log in, you dumb thing. I don't need to log in for Chicago. I need to log in for the other ones. I hate you. Okay, here. Please work. Okay. View a sponsored message, sure. There we go. Oh yeah, no. So I was gonna say, one of the things I'm hoping to do eventually is get an animation of my model. I don't know if it'll be that dance or just like a dance for the little outros, because like I like having the somber ones. It just does feel like at some point I need to have, somber feels like not as much of my brand anymore. Also, I like that I was like, yeah, it's gonna be really tough to finish editing this, and it's been an hour and 15 minutes, and I've added like a couple little graphics to the screen. And mostly just rambled about how I used to do my videos. Okay, so for this, we want this. Oh, my studio's capitalized there, but it shouldn't be. Ash Parish, The Verge. Ba, 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 da. Okay, so complete that citation. We'll go through and like check all of our sources, make sure we're not fucking up too much.
By accident. Trailers for the Series X and S included the upscaled version of Fusion Frenzy in them, and the game is currently on Game Pass right now. It's not getting here by accident. Microsoft has made the decision to keep bringing the launch title that got pretty mid reviews at the time and didn't sell particularly well is somehow still getting this kind of support.
Thank you,
Microsoft
Leo.
is not a company known for this.
Genius feels like a stretch, but appreciate the sentiment. Oh wait, this was okay, good, we didn't fuck those up. Yeah, so that means we are gonna have to actually we can unlock this because we can just drag this down. It can go down on a lower level now that it's finished. We'll put it down here. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoy I'm glad that people in general enjoy the video or the editing streams, because I didn't really know how people would respond, but it's been a good time. I don't know if I'll do them again in the future or not, because it is like this has been very exhausting. I might in the future we might do it again, or at least I can like I know that I can at least do it for a future donathon reward. I guess is the thing. Fuck, I didn't move these around, did I? These are not in the wrong spots. Please tell me I didn't accidentally rearrange all these.
Fusion Frenzy is a 2001 party game developed by Blitz Games and published by Microsoft Game Studios as a...
I don't think the TV's got moved around, but I just
Go back in time a bit for that.
Also,
Part
you're so
3,
sweet, Leo.
how we
Means a
got
lot.
here.
Also, I don't know if I've ever told you about this, but your cover of wait, where did the TVs just disappear for a whole section? Oh wait, yeah, they did because this is about a different game. But your cover of it's OMG, right? Is the title of it? Has been in my head for ages. Let me make sure. Because it was your pinned tweet for a long time, or it is still your pinned tweet, I guess. But I should click on your Twitter account and it swapped it up. OMGX for nice circulation. Hold on, I'll put the link in the chat. Everyone should check it out. It was a very, very talented singer. You are. I'm very jealous. I am not a good singer. It's just it's not in my repertoire. Yeah, I think about that one a lot. It's very, very good. I wish I could do it like that. I told this story on stream before, but I don't know if you would have been here for it. I once upon a time auditioned for a reality singing competition show as a child and did not do well. I am going to do a karaoke though. That was one of the Donathon rewards.
Again soon.
Okay, I think everything is mostly aligned. I just wanted to make sure I didn't like adjust too much. But yeah, when I was Canada has a reality competition show for kids, a singing competition show for kids called The Next Star. You say that, but no, I promise. Well, I mean, maybe depends on the song, I guess. Depends on the day. Maybe if I worked on it. They have a singing show called The Next Star. It's for kids. It's like kind of a non-elimination thing. Basically, people audition. They narrow it down to like a top 12 from the auditions across the country, and then like it's only for 15 and under, so like it is all pretty young kids. And then they narrow it down to a top 6 from there, and then those 6 go through the entire competition. Like it's just training those 6 and picking a winner from them eventually. And I auditioned, and I was in Edmonton for it. You can see me in some of the audition footage because I was taller than everyone there. And I sang "Come On Get Higher" by Matt Nathanson. They only make you sing a verse and a chorus. And as I started singing, pretty much right away, or before I even got to the chorus, because like the way that they do the auditions for those shows, like they make you sign contracts where you say like, I will show up for every day of this audition that I am called back for. I will wear the same outfit, do the same hair, because they want it to all look like one big thing. But you don't audition for the judges directly. You usually audition or at least in my show. My show is if I was like any part of that show really. For The Next Star, they brought you in groups of 5 for an audition in front of a panel of producers. I think it was like 5 producers as well. And like 95% of people would get cut there. One girl from my group actually moved on. She was very good. But they just make you sing a verse and a chorus because they don't have time for full songs. So I sang "Come On Get Higher" by Matt Nathanson. And yeah, the producer like put her head down, started shaking her head before I even got to the chorus. So I was very nervous. I was not a very good singer back then. I don't think I'm great now. I know I was not very good then because I was just very nervous, very shy, and I was like, "Come on, get higher, loosen my lips, faith and desire." Like, I could do it better now. Yeah, I was just a kid, but like, still. Anyways, I cried in a Boston Pizza over boneless wings, with my mom. It was very sad. And then I was like, I just want to pretend this never happened. And then the mom of a different kid who went to my school told everybody that I was there, and so I didn't get to pretend it didn't happen. So that was fun. Yeah, I think I could do there's some Michael Bublé ones I can do really well. The feeling good, especially if I have like really good morning voice or like I'm a little bit sick in that kind of like scratchy voice way. I can do that one all right. But no, let me find something because The Next Star, for people who don't know it, like most of the people who were on it were not big stars, but they did have Victoria Duffield, and I love her music. Hold on, she's got "Shut Up and Dance."
Here we are.
Right back at the start. Hold on, let me see if I can find the chorus. I'm gonna get copyright claim for this.
If you wanna get up and dance with me
Tonight,
Baby, don't say you're sorry. If you wanna take me away tonight. I don't. I love her music. It is like corny. It reminds me of when I was a kid. Like this is the shit I would listen to when I was younger. But I remember when she won, because she won season 2 or 3. Hold on, when did she win? Oh, she was only a finalist on the 3rd season. I thought she won. Who won her season? Diego Gomez. Oh, the winner for season 4 has apparently written some songs for Ash Nico and Rico Nasty. So that's crazy. Charlie, love that for them. Official covers. Because when I was testing out this mic, part of the reason why I wanted to get it was because I knew I was going to be doing the karaoke stream, and I was like, okay, I want to have like a better mic for that because I know a headset mic is not going to do that. Actually, let me find. I'll tell you the songs I've got on the cover list because I'm also just getting my citations figured out right now. I really want to do "Turn Back Time" by Aqua because I fucking love Aqua. I can't hit Lene Nystrom's vocals obviously because she's squeaky as all hell in a good way, positive. Love her, iconic, legendary. She is the moment, etc., etc. Her performance in Halloween, or like the song Halloween, amazing. No, this is like kind of I think I'm just getting more used to the mic. But yeah, Turn Back Time was one. I kind of want to do I Won't Say I'm in Love just to see if I can. Um, if we ever broke up, I think it's May Stevens is her name. Good Looking just for fun. I kind of want to do a share one, like do Dark Lady just for the hell of it. You Should Be Sad by Halsey. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I'm It, Jesus in LA. Oh, I want to do Deja Vu by Uki Violeta. That one I know I can do. I've heard myself sing that one. Also Playmate to Jesus by Aqua would be fun. I don't know. I have a whole bunch, but Jesus in LA is one that I know I can do decently well. And Deja Vu is one I know I can do decently. This will be fun. The karaoke stream will be, I don't know when exactly I'm going to do that because I'm going to have to wait a while because like my voice is still legitimately pretty fried from all of this. All right, we're going to grab my citation now. Where is that? Copy the footnotes. Also, thank you for the hydration check, Leo. I don't know. I think I'm just getting more used to having this mic. Because for the first few days of it, it was just like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where it's supposed to go. I don't know how to like sit near it. And like I was also nervous about how it made my voice sound. Because on the first day I thought I didn't like how it sounded, but I think I just still wasn't used to it. So I was kind of being anxious about it. But now I like it. Water. I will, don't worry. Thank you for the redeem. All right, so let's add in our little footnote here. Usually like size 16 should probably be fine. Maybe 12 because we're doing a smaller screen right now. Maybe we need to do even smaller. Can it do smaller? Wow, no, it can't do smaller than 12 apparently. Oh, no, it can. It just like will default to doing more for no good reason. Weird. Anyways, I'll do like the right alignment just because then it looks like it. Yeah, and then other than that, my singing experience was a very voice. Oh, thank you. But yeah, my other singing experience was when I was in high school. We had like my high school went through or did a what's it called? We had a tripartite system for our academics. So you'd have academics for 6 days a week in the morning. Oh yeah, this doesn't lock onto anything. I don't know why this one doesn't clip. We'll have to figure this out. And so you do academics in the morning, 6 days a week, 8:15, I think, until 1:15. And then you alternate between athletics and arts. And so for 3 days a week in the afternoons, I do arts and I did rock band. And I had to sing for that. And my high school had a really big sporting event.
a regatta where they would bring all the school bands in to like perform and do that. And it was like, I think it's one of the biggest high school sporting events in North America. So there were a lot of people there, and we performed. And I think my rock band teacher hated me in hindsight because I think about the songs that he assigned me to. One of them was "Smells Like Teen Spirit," which like I don't know if you can hear my voice. I don't know if you can really tell anything about me. I'm not giving Kurt Cobain now, but certainly not as a 15-year-old closet case. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it was so bad. And he refused to give me any song. Like, he only ever wanted to play songs in that rock band that he liked. So it'd all be stuff that like I just couldn't do. And I vividly like, part of the reason why I don't really like it took me a long time to even consider singing ever really is that I had that bad experience with the Next Star. And then when I was in high school, we sat down and we were at the regatta. We were the first ones to perform because we were the beginner group, so we were like supposed to go first, so there wasn't as big of a crowd. And we did "Smells Like Teen Spirit" first, and I vividly remember the face of this kid Jarl in the front when I first opened my mouth, just like this look of like oh, that's not right. And I barely made it through that, and then I went back to my dorm room and ate mini donuts and felt sad about myself for the weekend. And then we had to go to a recording studio to record our songs. So I have that recording. It's on my computer. I keep it to keep me humble. But it's not good. And it took me a long time to like not completely hate singing. And part of it is that like kind of like what you tweeted the other day actually. I saw the thing where it's like if you're gonna cover songs like in your range. Like I was never given songs that were in my range, and so I just could not do much with it. Let's see.
With Tango Game.
Oh god, that's already laggy as all shit. Why is that not like?
Happened with Tango Gameworks, developers of Hi-Fi Rush, just this month. I've even made a video about another time they did this in the past with an excellent racing game called Quantum Redshift, the cards in the top right, where the first game performed poorly largely thanks to Microsoft's intervention with some fuck-ass cover art, and the studio behind it, Curly Monsters, ended up
We're gonna make this a little bit bigger because I don't like it when like you can see like at the bottom corners of it, the UI stuff is just barely peeking out. I don't like it when it does that. We're like 82. 84. Good enough.
shutting down after Microsoft scrapped their deal for a sequel. And yet, when it comes to Fusion
Yeah, I don't like when that happens. Ends up looking giant. But yeah, no, I was just a kid, and like that's part of why I'm giving myself a bit more grace now as an adult, because I'm like I should have maybe not been.
Frenzy, the
that
fans of this
position.
game are fans of it. When I made my survivorship bias video back in 2022, I used music.
Actually, if we so like that covers the UI. It makes it look a little bit cleaner, but also it means that it's off center. I think that's better to leave it where it is. Or actually, alternatively, make it smaller. What if we went like 50? Yeah, that looks better actually, because then it doesn't cover the UI, and also it fits a bit more in the center. There we go. That works better.
Game performed poorly largely thanks to Microsoft's intervention with some fuck-ass cover art, and the studio behind it, Curly Monsters, ended up shutting down after Microsoft scrapped their deal for a sequel. And yet, when it comes to Fusion Frenzy, the fans of this game are fans of it. When I made my survivorship bias video back in 2022, I used music from the Fusion Frenzy soundtrack.
Also, that does not look like it's centered in the same way that this one was. There we go. That was like slightly off. There we go.
For the background, and there were a ton of comments remarking on how they loved the game and how it had been such a massive nostalgia hit to hear those tracks again. If you ask someone who played this as a kid, they can probably tell you which of the 6 characters was their favorite. The most was a Donathon reward. I actually live streamed the entire process of making this video from start to finish over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thevivaross. Say hi to chat. You can find the VoDs over on the VoDs channel if you'd like to get a peek.
Oh yeah, I guess I can use the I can use a better clip for that top left one because I've downloaded that now. Hi chat. Which one of these has it? Hold on, I need to look because oh god, these are such long things. Oh wait, no, not that. We can do this because I did edit all of them and like they're currently uploading and or processing right now. So that was when we were getting gameplay footage. That was which one was that? The rough edit was the gameplay footage, I think. Wait, no, this wasn't this one. This one's from the that's from here. This is from the old gameplay that we had. Oh, it's right here. Where did I? Okay, we're gonna cut that there because I know that that's at least like right around where we are for that. Pretty sure it was just. Yeah, it was when they started rotating it. Okay, cool, we'll do that. There's so much Viveros content. I don't know how everyone's not sick of me already. Or maybe they are. We'll put it like basically right at the same spot, just to make it easier to like kind of figure out what we're doing. We'll mute it. And we'll cut like all the rest of that off because that doesn't really need to be there. We just need like a little, like we need a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of that clip. We just need enough to like replace this a little bit here. I wanna take you back once again. I don't care. 'Cause my heart's on the dance floor. I don't wanna hear you talk anymore. 113.6. Scale this down to 30. I think that was everything we did for this. We'll just take this, add it up here. We need to remove this up to here. And then we need to lock that so it doesn't delete anything else, or it doesn't move anything else around that it shouldn't. We'll edit the length of this. That's for brunch, breakfast, and dinner. Brunch, breakfast, and dinner, I think is what I just said to myself. I need to see a doctor. What's the Billie Eilish song? The maybe it's in the gutter where I left my lover. Oh, I think I had a mental breakdown while I was living in Vancouver because of a guy, and he tweeted something about liking that. We lived together, like we were roommates, and I'm pretty sure I like was spiraling singing that song out loud because I wanted to let him know that I saw the shit he was saying.
Donathon reward. I
was a
actually
struggle.
live streamed the entire process of making this video from start to finish over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/theviveros. Say hi to chat. You can find the VoDs over on the VoDs channel if you'd like to get a peek behind the curtain to see what goes into making one of these videos. Anyways, with that out of the way.
There we go. Sick. Now it looks a little bit better because I was using the old one, but that was just my recording. But now we can fix that.
Part 1. The Origin Story. Fusion Frenzy is a 2001 party game developed by Blitz Games and published by Microsoft Game Studios as a launch title for the original Xbox. Blitz was a British developer founded in 1990 as Dizzy Enterprises, renamed Interactive Studios in 94 and then Blitz Games in 99, that mostly made licensed games throughout their history. There was The Fairly Odd Parents Break Into Rules, Lilo and Stitch Trouble in Paradise, Chicken Run, Bratz Rock Angels, iCarly, Biggest Loser, Reservoir Dogs. One of these things is not like the other, the list goes on. However, in 2000, Microsoft invited Blitz to pitch a new game for their new console, ideally a party game to fill that gap. Again, Microsoft was basically planning to spend just a ton of money to do a little bit of everything and let the consumer figure out what was a hit. So they wanted to have their own version of Mario Party so they could cover their bases. However,
I
it
felt
wasn't
so
supposed to be quite as
awkward
kid-friendly
saying
as
that
Mario
name.
Party was. According to Philip and
Breaking
Andrew
the
Oliver, twins who
rules
started
is not a
Blitz,
sentence
they
that
were
comes
told
out
that
of
their
me.
audience was meant to be a bit more grown-up. In the words of Philip Oliver, Microsoft.
Okay, so that's the next one that we want to cite because we used this article a few times. Maybe it's in the gutter where I left my lover. What an expensive fate. My V is for vendetta. Thought that I'd feel better, and now I got a belly. Oh, bellyache. That's the name of that one. I think that was a different one that I was spiraling to, though. It was something else around that time. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. David Craddock. David. V is for Viveros. When was this published? November 13th. This is from 2020? Oh shit, oh, this is an older one. It's even better. I don't know how I didn't really process that earlier. I'm sure I saw that when I was first looking at it, and I just like didn't really internalize it. That like November 13th, 2020. David Craddock. Okay. I do really wish there was more of like a standardized format for citing your sources when you're doing it in like a video essay, because there's just not like there's just not like a normalized way of doing it. And it feels a little bit awkward to have to keep trying to like figure out what the right way to do it is, you know? Because I'm like, I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to like fuck it up and seem like I don't care. But I also don't know what the right way to do it is. So it's kind of a little bit like, what do I do? Because like I'm basically using like a bastardized version of Chicago. Oh, plus this is also like too big to fit in here, I think. As it is, yeah. God, this is like so tiny. Whatever. The best I can do to make it still fit in here. Okay, so we put this down as a 2. 12, 2. No, don't select all of those, just this. Thought that I'd feel better. I'm very professional. I don't know if you can tell. I definitely know what I'm doing and I know how to do it. Does that look right?
Microsoft came to the office and they gave us this big presentation saying, here is the ideal person. They go to the Pizza Hut and they drink this.
I love it in the article. Like, that's not me like ad-libbing that. That is how they say they go to the Pizza Hut. Which, I don't know, just sounds very funny to me. We're going to cite it again here because we use this quote again here. I'm going to shrink these down because they're not relevant anymore, so I can actually see my whole timeline. Oh, I guess I can also expand this up. Why do I still have this shrunk down?
Things don't work. And they're like, you've had half the time, so I expect half the levels to be looking amazing. That's not how it works. Everything builds up in layers and comes together at the end. And this is one of the unique things about games.
I think it's just Pizza Hut. I don't think it's the Pizza Hut. They're just British. They're old British people. Actually, wait, how? They've got gray hair and all the like interview stuff, so I'm assuming that they're older, but I mean, I could be wrong. This one is source 1. And then for 2, it was I think they were like maybe it's also the interviewer like transcribed it wrong or something, but yeah, they said like I mean they like I'm assuming that it's just British because they also do say a bunch of things about like, oh yeah, we were doing this, like you had to say this to the lads or whatever, or like this game was for like where was it here? Where was the audience that says here for this? It also where is this quote in here? I know it was in here somewhere. There it was. Yeah, like they said they wanted to aim at a more 20-year-old market targeted mostly towards lads. That was a long walk for a small drink of water. That's fine. Anyways,
game development compared to other media. Video games kind of build the whole thing from the base and work up in layers, like all of them.
You gotta bully me like this. I'm just a little guy.
Oliver said, whereas something like a novel will be written from start to finish, and then the edits will usually also clean it up.
Actually, I love it in this clip. You can just see the AI. The AI, their pathing is so interesting because they don't, like on this stage, you can see like midway through it, or about 30 seconds in, or I guess it's It's about 30 seconds in,
build the whole thing
35
from
seconds
the
in. This starts opening up because the ship is supposed to come in, and there's only a few seconds where there's nothing here. So I guess they just didn't bother programming the AI to not jump in the hole, because you will see all three of them just walk
base
right
and
in.
work up in layers, like Oliver said. Whereas something like a novel will be written from start to finish, and then the edits will usually also clean it up in that order.
And Jet goes in
If someone says
twice.
that shooting for a movie is half finished, you would reasonably be able to assume
This
that
little
half the
guy,
shots for that
and
movie had
it's my
been filmed.
birthday.
Whereas if someone
Just
says
a little
that level
birthday
design is
guy.
half finished
Don't hit
for a
me. You
video
wouldn't hit
game,
me.
that
I'm
means
just a
that
little
most
guy.
of the levels probably have their geometry and rough details, but they're not finished. Watching a video game be developed is like watching a drag queen put on makeup. It's gonna look insane until the last minute when the final touches are put on and bring the whole thing together. Rarely can you thank a licensed tie-in game for much, but Blitz's previous experience fighting with big Hollywood studios over the game development process and learning the importance
AI
of
in this
putting
game
your
know
foot
how to
down is probably a
cyberboy.
pretty massive reason why this game managed to make it out the door in such a good state. However, this is all backstory. What about the game itself? I hate this game. I hate it here. I said all these nice things about this game, and this is how it rewards me. Part 2. What is Fusion Frenzy? So hateful. Now, if we're going to talk about this game, it's
I just thought it
probably
was funny to just have my own little stupid comment. I wasn't gonna do that in the future. I just thought it was that one lined up really well, so I was like, I'll keep doing that.
easiest to do so if we start with what makes it different from the party game that you're likely most familiar with, Mario Party. The box art for Fusion Frenzy includes the line non.
Okay, let me actually find the Fusion Frenzy box art. I should probably have had that in here from the start. Yeah, I'll have to probably download it again or find it somewhere. Give me a sec. Why are these so small? Do none of you ever upload a full-sized image of anything? I hate it here. Like, why is this 256 by 353? Like, I just need the full box art, ideally on the original, like why is this one deep fried and French? Okay, well, maybe this exclusive Xbox. Yeah, exactly, Leo. Especially on Wikipedia. Why is the Wikipedia one is 256 by 353? What do you mean? What do you mean? Let me see if I can find Fusion Frenzy on like the Xbox website, because it's still up there. Like, some of them are smaller. This one's 187 by 270. How and why? Why would you do that? How do you even find that? Like, I hate it here. You know what? We're gonna use the Platinum Hits version because it's bigger, and that is actually also the version of it that I had as a kid. So that's what counts. Oh wait, why is that? No, what? Hold on. Somebody took a screenshot of it, so it has this stupid little like camera image on the bottom. I'm gonna fucking lose it. You know what? Fine. Fine. We are getting this chunky ass version of it. I need to get the ad quote thing. I think it's fun. Where is this in here? Get back to my scripted video, please. Where is it? Holy shit. Can we get back to the folder that I was in? Why is this take why? Okay, you know what? I guess I can't just like go back. I guess I have to just do this. I guess I'll have to ban Fusion Frenzy, and I'm still mad about it. This is gonna look chopped as shit. At this point, that's not my fault. Bum bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum, bum bum ba-dum ba-dum, bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-da-ba-dum, ba-da-bum, bum bum ba-dum ba-dum, ba-ba-da. Do-do-do-do. this is a PNG actually, or was it? I don't know. Whenever I find an image online, I usually just copy paste it into paint.net so that I can make it a PNG because then it's at least a little better. We'll size it down. Oh, I guess we have to unlock this so I can actually like figure out how to align this with everything else. Oh, you know what? We'll do that. That mostly looks okay. It looks acceptable. It's not gonna be on the screen for very long.
Stop party game action, and it is absolutely not lying about that.
Why are you still unlocked? You were not supposed to be that. Come on, fake tweet from Sasha Velour about being a good pup.
Where's Mario?
The Mio one, man. Man, that's crazy.
Non-stop party game action, and it is the line.
I don't know why I put that so far back. It's silly.
The line non-stop party game action, and it is absolutely not lying about that. Whereas Mario Party has this whole board game thing going on where you roll dice and you move spots and you do all this other stuff. Fusion Frenzy cuts right through all of that and just goes from minigame to minigame in rapid succession. As a result, instead of the turns that Mario Party games have, Fusion Frenzy starts by asking players whether they want to do 2, 4, or 6 stages for their tournament. You can have up to 4 people playing at once with empty spots filled by AI.
Oh wait, actually, we could also grab the footage of that really quickly. Hold on. This would have been in the... Oh god, where is that? Here. We grab this, go in here.
Fall. We'll go up to 6. I don't fucking care. We're gonna do a full one. I don't fucking care anymore.
This is gonna be
Okay, so
Your mom will appreciate.
I don't know why I said that like that. We'll cut this over here. Also, we're gonna put the mask on this one really quickly as well. We'll have to just unlock this really quickly so I can figure out the details of the masks for them, because I know that they're a little bit finicky. Mask, rectangle, 91.5 and 70. No, 5, 70, and then basic stats, 86.96. I don't really know how I settle on that. That's oddly specific. Minus... There. Okay.
Do so if we start with Fusion Frenzy cuts right through all of that and just goes from minigame to minigame in rapid succession. As a result, instead of the turns that Mario Party games have, Fusion Frenzy starts by asking players whether they want to do 2, 4, or 6 stages for their tournament. You can have up to 4 people playing at once with empty spots filled by AI.
And then we'll have to just...
Just like in Mario Party. Also, unlike Naomi, Samson, blue for color, green for dub, red signature color.
Slide that down there like that. Oh, nothing here is getting slid around, right? It shouldn't be. Okay, we'll just like make sure that we lock that before we start cutting stuff up. I get so nervous that everything is gonna get like horrifically arranged. Because I've had that happen before and it's like completely butchered the entire video. And I have not.
Just like in Mario Party. Also, unlike Mario Party, Fusion Frenzy's 6-character roster are all Mario Party. Also, also, so unlike
Put that cut there. Transition the glitch box out. Delete this here. Okay, good. So nothing did get moved around because everything looks fine. But we'll do the glitch blocks at the start as well.
they want to do 2, 4, or 6 stages for their tournament. You can have up to 4 people playing at once with empty spots filled by AI, just like in Mario Party. Also, unlike Mario Party, Fusion Frenzy's 6-character roster are
I like how that
all
looks.
original characters, each with a signature color. Green for Dub, red for Samson, blue for Gina, yellow for Zack, orange for Naomi, and pink for Jet. The Olivers mentioned that the characters took a lot of work to design in order to meet that brief from Microsoft about appealing to a 20-year-old lad who likes hardcore games as well as his friends who only really play casual games. So they ended up on this jet-set radio-esque aesthetic. The game's premise, its universe, whatever you want to call it, is paper thin. It's a party game. There's not exactly a rich story mode going on here, but the basic idea is that the 6 characters are competing in the Fusion Frenzy Tournament, a futuristic in-universe competition series set in a pretty dystopian cyberpunk future. Like, this is the Wipeout of Cyberpunk 2077. The tournament takes place across the 6 districts of an unnamed city, with the order being randomized each time. If you play fewer than 6 zones, the ones that appear will also be randomized. For each zone, the players play 3 minigames either individually or as teams, with 12 points being awarded at the end of each game based on performance in the form of colored orbs. First gets 6, second gets 4, third gets 2, and fourth gets nothing. Some minigames can be team games, so the players on the winning team will each get 6 orbs
This
and the
is
losers
like
get
60%
nothing at all.
speed
And
because
if there's
I
a
needed to
tie, the
just
combined orbs
hold
of
on.
those positions will be split between the people who tied. After the third minigame in each zone, players will enter the zone's finale, the Fusion Frenzy, an all-out brawl between the players to figure out who actually wins the zone. Before it starts though, players are given the option to, in the words of the game's faceless announcer, bank your orbs or gamble them in Fusion Frenzy. Players are forced to gamble at least 3 orbs, but can choose to gamble more. And if they have less than 3, they'll get topped up so they have 3 to gamble as well, to make it a bit more fair. If you bank your orbs, they automatically count for 10 points towards your final score, whereas gambling them means
I was kind of worried this is maybe like over explaining the game a little bit, but like I don't know. It's one of the difficulties whenever I talk about a game that I'm not like that people aren't going to know. Like when I talk about Overwatch, I can reasonably expect a sizable chunk of the people who are going to watch it to already know. Like the people who are watching that video are people who already know a little bit about Overwatch for the most part, and aren't going to expect me to explain who the characters are every video. But like with the Inescapable video, that was one of the challenges where it's like, how much do I actually like? To what degree do I need to explain the people? To what degree do I need to explain the concept? Whatever. Like how much information is necessary? Like that's a harder thing to figure out than it seems like it should be. And what was the other one? It was the Spike Chunsoft ones was a difficulty on that, or it was the difficulty with that too, where it was like I don't know how much to explain the idea, but like it's one where I want to make sure that I'm like getting everything across. I want to. Same with Quantum Redshift, because
that you have to pick them up in the arena to deposit them, which is a bit of a risk-reward thing. The risk is that, while you can only pick up orbs that are the same color as your character off the ground, anything you're holding can be stolen off of you by another player who attacks you, even if it was originally your color. If you had a perfect run in the zone and gambled all 18 orbs, but the other players really have some beef with you, I don't know, maybe because you just kicked their asses for 3 straight games, they can still gang up on you to steal all your orbs and make sure you leave empty-handed. However, the reward is that your orbs can be worth way more if you gamble them and win. You can only bank up to 15 orbs, or 150 points, but orbs in the arena are worth more if you deposit multiple at one time. 1 orb is still only worth 10, but 2 together are worth 30, while 3 are worth 50, and 4 are worth 70. If you play it as safe as possible and bank all that you can and score all 3 of your gambled orbs together, you'll end up with 200 points for your work. If you gamble it all, you could turn those orbs into 310 points instead. Once all the colored orbs in a stage have been collected, or at least most of them, colorless orbs will start to spawn in that anybody can collect just to make sure you don't run out of things to do. There are also stage hazards that players can activate to destroy the orbs that people are holding if they're close to the goals, and bonus power-ups like a shield that make you invulnerable, or a weapon that allows you to one-shot other players, or a speed boost that allows you to run faster. Anyways, after the brawl, the final scores will be tallied up, added to your tournament total, and then you're sent back into the next zone to do it all again. You repeat the process for each zone, with your final Fusion Frenzy scores being added to your total each time. After you've finished all the zones in your tournament, the game will tally up all the final scores and award first, second, third, and fourth. If there's a tie for any position other than first, the game doesn't really care. But if there is a tie for first, the tied players will face off in a special minigame above the city to determine the winner.
I wanted to get footage of this. I can't. Because you have to force a tie at the very beginning. Like you have to force a tie through, like at the end of the session, and that can be so difficult to do with AI. Like what I did as a kid to see it was like plug in all 4 controllers and just never do anything throughout all the mini games, so that there would be a tie at the end, or like get 2 characters to put 1 orb in each or something, so they would all have like, or so that a couple of them would have the points. But it's basically just the hold on, what point are we at? We're at 11:16. Okay, let me just remember that. I guess we don't. The sumo mini game is hidden under a bunch of text. We won't go there. It's basically just the sumo mini game, but like with a smaller stage and a little bump in the middle. Look, you know what? I kind of had to, because if I didn't, I would have been like, because everyone else had. I mean, a part of it was like I'd played the game a ton. I knew I was good at it, but also it was like everyone else was on a. Everyone else had a delay, like a latency issue, and I didn't because I was hosting it. So I wanted to give myself a little built-in latency debuff. Which I think worked. I think Popo still would have beaten me if he had like, if there had been one better round, or like one round had gone differently, like the very first one. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna do it again sometime, because I liked playing Fusion Frenzy on stream. It was a really good time, and I think I don't know. I'd like to bring in some other people for it. Leo, if you would like to join me for that, you're more than welcome to.
Each
I'll let
zone
you know when it
has a
happens.
specific type of minigame as well. In the Coliseum, you'll be playing rolling ball and ice car minigames. Downtown has the fireworks and music minigames. Outlands has demolitions and tail games. Military Zone has pod and tank games. Power Station has the hopper and splat games. And Waterfront has the jet boat and orb games. However,
Hell yeah.
while you'll find different mechanics in different zones, you won't find different mechanics with different characters. All 6 characters play identically, with only cosmetic differences to distinguish them. Fusion Frenzy relies really, really heavily on the characters' colors to make the game readable at all, which is particularly important when you remember that this was a game that was being launched in 2001, a year where the average TV screen size was 26 inches in the US. Fusion Frenzy's minigames are fast, chaotic, and messy, making
is
it
not the
especially
best minigame
important
to
to
make that
establish
point,
visual
but oh well.
clarity. They were, however, extremely simple. Controls for each minigame were typically limited to a single action button and movement, with it often being exclusively one.
This is
or
not
the
a good
other,
example of
or
being
like
simple
2
or
action buttons
action-packed.
tops. And the instructions for each game could be explained in no more than 4 sentences during the loading screen. The idea was that, since this game was fully minigame focused
you.
without an external component,
Yeah, like again, this is the thing. Like part of why I really wanted to make this video is that I think my argument is like, I wish Xbox would make more games like this. Because Mario Party's fun, but it's not fun when that's the only way to play a game like this. Like, I think if they kept making Fusion Frenzy games, like if we were on Fusion Frenzy 10, which would be keeping up with the release schedule of Mario Party games, more or less, then like think about how many fun games there'd be out there that you could like go back and play with friends. Like it'd be cool to have. It'd be nice if that was an option, and it just isn't, and that sucks.
like Mario Party's board.
Well, I mean, it is an option, but gotta use Zemu.
board game, it needed to be as easy as possible for anyone to pick up a controller and have a fair shot after a practice round or 2. And I'd argue it mostly succeeds at that. Now, this is generally tried to be a pretty neutral description of how the game works
Still
so
mad I
far,
missed
but
one of
I
these
do want to
notes,
end this section by
'cause
saying
I
this
usually get this
formula is
perfect.
just excellent. The minigames are overall really solid and strike a really good balance between sharing mechanics without feeling too samey. There are a bunch of minigames in the rollerballs, for example, but in sumo, you're using the ball to try and push other players off of an ever-shrinking stage. While in Momentum, you're trying to shove each other out.
I just realized I'm gonna get copyright claimed one way or the other for this video by my own VoD's channel, so that'll be fun.
Out of the way to run your ball over a goal, and in Roller Rocket,
Yeah, okay, party games are so much fun. Like the little like mini game scramble things, like kind of like WarioWare, but I think WarioWare is not. That one's like a single player party game more than anything else, in my opinion. Like when I was a kid, we had WarioWare for the Wii, and it was a great game. But like it's really only like it's mostly fun by yourself, I think, because of how like frantic and fast paced it is, and it's not fun to try and teach someone how to play it while you're playing it. Like Fusion Frenzy is easy enough for people to pick up, whereas like a lot of the mini games in WarioWare make no sense and they're over before anyone has any chance to figure it out. But yeah, this one is fun. I hope to show
guess
more
you're
people
racing
it.
to complete 3 laps first on a stage that you can be knocked off of but will respawn on. A full 6-stage tournament means that you can't just rely on being good at one type of minigame, and the finales are a good.
Yeah, party like those kind of like beat 'em up games are a lot of fun. Like sort of in that same vein of like there's Party Animals. Fuck, there's other ones like that. There Gang Beasts was one that was like that too, and like those are really fun in their own way. But those are still like they're physics based, and also they're very like they're still not really party games. Like I think of party games as like that sort of mini game thing. And I know it's maybe just like a too narrow description, but like Fusion Frenzy is one, Mario Party is one. There was a Crash. What was the Crash Bandicoot one? I think it was Crash Bash was actually what it's called. Yeah, Crash Bash was one. There was a Crash Bandicoot party game. Like those sort of things where it's just like a mini game mashup.
They're a lot of fun. Good way of rewarding players for a strong performance in the minigames while still giving everyone a chance to come from behind to snatch the crown. Instead of something like Mario Party, where players are often either know the winner half an hour before the game ends or are at the mercy of random bonus stars to determine the winner after an hour or more of gameplay, Fusion Frenzy leaves the results in the player's hands at the end of the day. Also, the tone of the game is just really fun. It has the vibes of a chaotic, messy competition show, and the characters are kinda assholes towards each other. They'll taunt each other during the minigames, they'll boast about it when they win, and the announcer will regularly take digs at the losers in given minigames to get under their skin. Compared to its competitors among party games, it's pretty easy to see why this one stood out to so many people, and why it still holds a lot of appeal today. And yet, despite all that, there hasn't been a new Fusion Frenzy game released since the Xbox 360, and the franchise is effectively dead in the water. Why? Well, we've got to go back in time a bit for that. Part 3. How we got here. When the original Xbox launched in 2001, it came with 19 launch titles across a huge range of genres. You had fighting games, racing games, platformers, sports games, shooters, and obviously party games. And there were a lot more coming right after those original 19. This was mostly a consequence of Microsoft not really knowing what its new console was going to be, as well as the changing market of console gaming at the time. The original Xbox came out as a part of the 6th console generation, and prior to that point, it wasn't super uncommon for new companies to enter the market or exit it. It was very possible for a company to try and fail to enter the console market, and it was equally possible for an established company to get demolished by a particularly weak entry. Microsoft's major competitors in that generation were Sony and Nintendo, who had entered the market in the 5th and 3rd generations respectively, depending on who you ask, apparently. I'm asking Wikipedia because that isn't really the point of the video here. The important bit is that the market was changing and Microsoft wasn't really sure what would resonate with gamers and help get them on board with this new console. However, what they did have was basically unlimited money to buy up studios, hire companies to produce stuff for them to publish, and make sure that there was a way for them to compete because of the whole being Microsoft and having billions of dollars thing. So that was their strategy. Spend a mountain of money on making sure that their console had a little bit of everything and just let the gamers, derogatory, decide what worked best. If you know anything about the original Xbox, you know that gamers pretty much unanimously decided that Halo Combat Evolved was the thing that worked. So that's what Microsoft ran with. And I mean, it makes sense. Halo is one of the biggest games of the 21st century, and it didn't get there for no reason, even if Bungie was basically burning itself to the ground to try and get out the door on time. One of the consequences of this strategy, though, is that Microsoft still wasn't actually good at understanding how gaming as an industry worked. Their biggest rival, especially in their debut generation, was Sony, because the GameCube was not doing too hot. Sony was another newcomer, relatively speaking, and specifically another newcomer who had a lot of the same issues Microsoft was going to have. They weren't a games company first. They were a bigger conglomerate that decided they wanted to have a games division and produce some hardware. And that meant they approached this industry differently than the only other major competitor to survive to the present day: Nintendo. Nintendo, unlike the other two big companies in this market, is predominantly a games company. Like Microsoft has Xbox, but it also has Bing, LinkedIn, Windows, GitHub, Skype, and probably some stuff that people actually like in there somewhere. Sony, meanwhile, is an absolutely massive conglomerate doing everything from banking and insurance to film and music production to manufacturing cameras, TVs, and radios. Nintendo, by contrast, basically just makes consoles, games, and merchandise around them. And frankly, it punches massively above its weight class here. The fact that it survived is a testament to how it handles its IP, how it views the industry, and how it can't afford to just throw $70 billion at any game studio it wants to own in order to get some console exclusives. It has to build that shit itself. The reason this matters is that, when we're talking about Microsoft abandoning its properties, it's extremely relevant that Microsoft can afford to do so. Microsoft has the ability to absorb losses, take hits, and make cuts if it feels like something isn't hitting its high standards as quickly as it would like. Nintendo doesn't have that same kind of wiggle room. There's more of a necessity to make things work and keep iterating upon good concepts if they need to be refined. Yeah, no, people, it is wild to think about Microsoft being like as massive of a company as it is when, like, objectively speaking, I don't know, even the Xbox, like the Xbox is probably the product people most like from them, but like, even then, certainly not like, I don't know, it's weird. It's mostly just because they have a lot of, I mean, the reason why they survive the way they do is because they're just massively anti-competitive, but that's a whole separate thing. It also doesn't help that Microsoft basically knocked it out of the park with one of its very first titles with Halo, which I think probably set their standards a bit out of whack when it came to how they evaluated the performance of their other games. And so, when the first title in a planned series didn't blow up the industry like Halo did, they were pretty happy to kill it stone dead before the sequel a lot of the time. Fusion Frenzy had a 70% score on Metacritic, some pretty rough reviews, but, you know, pretty okay. But the relatively weak reception is the reason why Microsoft scrapped the original plans for a Blitz-developed sequel. However, the original Mario Party didn't do much better. Also, I said this yesterday, it made me really happy as I was like working on this video to be like, yeah, exactly. When I was working on this video to be like, because I kept on dropping hints where I was like, there is a sequel to this game. I said, like, at one point I said, There hasn't been a new Fusion Frenzy since the Xbox 360. Right here, I said, what was that? Critic, some pretty rough a lot of time. Plan series didn't probably set their standards a bit out of whack when it came to how they evaluated the performance of their other games. And so, when the first title in a planned series didn't blow up the industry like Halo did, they were pretty happy to kill it stone dead before the sequel a lot of time. Fusion Frenzy had a 70% score on Metacritic.
I must have said
pretty-
it, but I don't know. I said something in there similarly where I was like, yeah, they the Blitz planned sequel was kind
rough reviews, but pretty okay. But the relatively
Oh, yeah,
weak
it was
reception is the reason why Microsoft scrapped the original plans for a Blitz developed sequel. However,
yeah, because they scrapped the Blitz sequel, but not the other one, the Hudson Soft one.
the original Mario Party didn't do much better. It only hit 79% on Metacritic and still had a lot of pretty major criticisms. It was tediously slow at a lot of points, and it was mostly only fun with friends. Fusion Frenzy, by contrast, was praised for being quick to get you into the game with simple instructions, although it did still face that same criticism of mostly only being fun with your friends. To be fair, they're party games, you'd expect that. However, where Nintendo succeeded and Microsoft failed was that Nintendo recognized that the first game was not going to be the best. The first attempt at something new will probably have some rough edges, that's just how it goes. The first Mario Party was a learning experience, and the lessons learned from it were applied to Mario Party 2 to make it a better game, and then those lessons were applied further into 3, 4, and so on. It took time, but the Mario Party games continued improving, and the fact that it was a consistent release meant that there was almost always a Mario Party for whatever Nintendo console or even handheld you had at the time. Over time, Mario Party became one of those games that people defaulted to if they wanted to play something with their friends but didn't want to play anything that was going to be too skill dependent, which, I mean, that's what a party game is supposed to be, and Mario Party shows why it's important to keep iterating on it to get there. The first Mario Party has pacing issues, gameplay issues, some design flaws and minigames that sequels could build off of to make better games. Part of what allows a game to truly become a party game is time, and that goes beyond video games. If you want to play a casual board game with your friends, you pick something people are likely to either already know or be able to pick up quickly, and that everyone can have a roughly even chance of winning. Whether it's Monopoly or Uno, there's a good chance that everyone at the table has either played it before or can pick it up pretty fast, and the longer a game is around for, the better it is at this, because it's more likely to be intergenerational. Mario Party is a series that's been around since 1998. People have been playing that game for nearly 26 years now. There are people well into their 40s who would have played the first games when they were younger and now can play the new ones with their own kids. Developing a good party game franchise is a long-term project, and Nintendo understood that. Microsoft, by contrast, did not. Microsoft expected every game to blow up immediately with its first entry, and if it failed to meet unrealistic expectations, then the series wouldn't proceed. Or if it did, it wouldn't be properly funded, and then the follow-up wouldn't be able to improve on the original, and that would be when it was put down like old Yeller. Microsoft's back catalog is absolutely littered with IPs that just needed more time and resources to cook, but which have been abandoned because Microsoft didn't realize that this stuff is a long-term project, or, if we're being more honest, they don't care. This also isn't just a historic problem. Microsoft pretty transparently hasn't evolved much from the company that the Olivers described working with in that interview, where they didn't know how game design worked, didn't care to learn, and kept trying to crunch budgets. Blitz Games was able to make it through the other end with the first Fusion Frenzy because they'd learned from their past experiences with licensed games how to put their foot down and explain themselves to executives. But even then, they couldn't convince Microsoft to follow through with the plan for a sequel, which, again, pretty big part of a successful party game franchise is consistent releases. For the first 20 years of the Mario Party franchise, there were only 7 in which a new game wasn't released. Every console got a Mario Party, usually several, and that strategy is part of why Mario Party is the franchise it is today. Every Xbox got a Fusion Frenzy, to be fair, but it was almost always the same one.
You're easily impressed.
Thank you for the follow, Ray Diaz, and Dylan Yurt. Welcome in. How are you? Just working on getting video edited and up to go, or ready to go.
And the fact that it still goes as strong as
Thank
it
you for the hydration
does
check,
is a pretty
Impressed.
Thank you for the hydration check, Shiv.
clear testament that they could have done more with it with more time and effort. Instead, they just abandoned it as a franchise. And again, this isn't just a problem for Microsoft at the turn of the century. This is modern Microsoft's problem too. There is no room for a sleeper hit, because if a game doesn't immediately do well, they'll probably just shut down the studio. Like, not even sell it, just shut it down and hoard the IP. Hell, they're not even safe if their game does do well by every objective metric like Hi-Fi Rush did, which was a massive success in spite of Microsoft doing what Microsoft always does by trying to sabotage its own games for some fucking reason. And even then, Microsoft still killed Tango Gameworks for it. Overwatch was still making good money for Microsoft after the ABK acquisition, but that didn't stop them from eviscerating the Overwatch team to make the balance sheets look a little stronger. A decision that will.
But thank you. I hope you enjoyed that video. It still cracks me up that people enjoyed that one so much. I keep saying it, I'm a broken record about it. I thought 12 people were gonna watch it, and it was just to get it out of my head. And so to see other people enjoy it so much was really good. But yeah, we're just editing a video. This one's gonna come out actually today later, probably in a couple hours.
More than anything else in the history of Overwatch, likely be the thing that leads to the game eventually being shut.
Or we're doing like the final run through to make sure. Or I keep saying we. I should stop doing that. I feel like I don't know why I keep doing it. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing the final run through on this, and then we're gonna start uploading it while I work on a thumbnail for it.
shut down for reasons I explained in my Let's Talk About Layoffs video.
Oh yeah, we're gonna put in the
thing that leads to the game eventually being shut down for reasons I explained.
Where is it in here? Let's talk about layoffs.
Explained in my Let's Talk About Layoffs.
I think this was at a 50 before, correct? Now we just need to unlock this. There we go. Masterpiece. Everybody's too kind to me about that one. I don't get it. I'm just glad people enjoyed it. Okay, so let's see.
Down for reasons I explained in my Let's Talk About Layoffs video. Microsoft is the multi-billion-dollar equivalent of that.
I think this is where we want to cut it probably anyways. I also like put the thumbnail up there because then I can put the card on it. Like I do these just so that like people know what thumbnail to look for if they're gonna go look for it, but also like so I can tell when I'm doing the editing and like when I'm putting in the cards on YouTube where I need to put the card. God, this is like one of the worst performing videos I've ever put out. I think understandably.
Being shut down for reasons I explained in my Let's Talk About Layoffs video. Microsoft is the multi-billion-dollar equivalent of that fucking meme of the dog holding a frisbee and saying throw when the person goes.
Can I find that meme actually? Let's just find that real quick. No fake. It's weirdly hard to make or to find like the original of this. Is there a version of this that has the Hey Wizard, it's going good. We're almost done.
Holding a frisbee and saying billion-dollar equivalent of that fucking meme of the.
I probably should swear less. It would probably be better for the channel if I didn't swear so much. Just because most of the swearing is usually ad-libbed in. I think this one was scripted, but usually I just end up being annoyed, so I'll swear. Hell yeah. We also do need to unhide or unlock that one again so that it can actually like lock on. There we go. Conditions, put in the glitch blocks. Lock that one again.
Dog holding a frisbee and saying throw. When the person goes to grab the frisbee to throw it, the dog snatches it back and says no take, only throw.
Casino, 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 casino. Oh yeah.
Meme of the dog holding a frisbee and saying throw. When the person goes to grab the frisbee to throw it, the dog snatches it back and says no take, only throw. Microsoft wants.
Actually, let me find the. Hold on. I wonder if I can find the origin of that so I can like link that person as the source. Maybe Know Your Meme will have the quote. This person's there's a Tumblr thing. Okay, it is on Tumblr, so you know what? We can cite that. It says 18th of July, but I have no idea. Oh, 2015. Okay, cool. Actually, that does have enough for me to cite it. Look at us go. I don't have many citations in this, but that's one of them. Glitch, yeah, the glitch transition is just one that was like a stock one that came here, so it is very lucky that it mostly works out for me. Do, 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 do. I don't really know what the correct citation format is for a Tumblr post. We're gonna try this and just hope it works out mostly. I don't know why this is really funny to me, the idea of doing like a Chicago style citation for this. I put the other citations. We didn't have a lot of sources to cite for a lot of this, but we will find them somewhere. This is the citation, right? Yes. Okay, good. I'm about to panic and be like, wait, why did I not have the other stuff under it? But it's just because I'm dumb. And I forgot. But now we're good. Okay. Casino, casino. Oh, yeah. 3. Take that. I do feel sometimes kind of bad for like the people who create a meme and like will never get credit for it. Although some of them might not. I don't know if people always want the credit for the memes that they come up with when they're bored or whatever, but like, I don't know. If I'm going to cite it, I might as well leave. Or if I'm going to reference it, I might as well at least like put the link in.
Fucking meme of the dog holding a frisbee and saying throw. When the person goes to grab the frisbee to throw it, the dog snatches it back and says no take, only throw. Microsoft wants to make money off of video games, but does not want to engage in the long-term process of not only making individual games, but entire franchises. It wants profit.
Let's put that there. Everything else is still locked. Okay, good.
Profits without investments. It wants powerhouse franchises without initial entries, and wants success without iteration. Imagine if all media was being produced this way. Like, most popular television shows have a rough first season before they really start to hit their stride. Writers need time to figure out how they're going to write the characters. Actors need time to get into that character and really flesh them out. And if we scrapped them because they weren't perfect out of the gate, we wouldn't have so many great shows. And that's scripted and unscripted stuff. Like, imagine if Microsoft was producing The Walking Dead in 2010, or Survivor in 2000, or RuPaul's Drag Race or Archer in 2009. All shows that didn't really hit their strides until subsequent seasons came out. Even when the first season was really popular, like in the case of Survivor, there was still a lot of kinks that needed to be worked out in subsequent seasons, especially because media franchises will evolve along with their consumers of given time. In addition, if you invest resources in niche properties, sometimes they become a little bit less niche. Drag Race was not initially a mainstream show. It was a small spin-off show, basically. It was a parody of a lot of reality TV at the time on a small network. But because it got the resources it needed, it was given time to grow and develop, it has become one of the biggest shows in its field. Something like Survivor didn't start out as a game with alliances. Castaways developed that themselves over time. Drag Race didn't start out having these big, expensive, extravagant runway packages for queens that became, in a lot of cases, the stars of the show, these elaborate fashion statements. That became a component to the show over time as the expectations of fans and queens alike slowly climbed. And since the show became more mainstream, there was more money in it for people, especially for All-Star seasons. A show like Archer only developed a lot of its more famous running jokes in later seasons, especially because you can't really have a running joke if you don't give it time to run. To bring it back to gaming, to provide another example, in the first Mario Party, bonus stars were mandatory. Over time, though, they became an optional mechanic. You could turn them off. Why? Well, because a lot of people just felt like they were bullshit and ruined the game. They don't like that kind of experience in a competitive environment. That's not the case for everybody. A lot of people really enjoy the randomness and the chaos of it, but offering the option allows people to have more fun with it if that's what they prefer. The first 6 games always awarded the same 3 bonus stars: the minigame star, the coin star, and the event star. But starting in Mario Party 7, there would be 3 stars awarded at random from a pool of 6, with the size of the pool and the types of stars changing in future games to make it more random and unpredictable. If you didn't like bonus stars anyways, you could just usually keep them turned off, but if you did like the randomness, then this just added on to that. As well, thanks to the rapid release of new Mario Party games, if you didn't like a mechanic in one, you could probably just keep playing the previous one and wait for it to be adjusted in a future version. With Fusion Frenzy, there were only 2 iterations, spaced 6 years apart and with totally different developers. There was no way for people to build an attachment to the franchise or for the devs to keep improving and learning and growing. Now, I can already hear some people saying, hey, wait a minute, what do you mean 2 iterations? I thought they just made one game and then abandoned it. I thought that was the point of the video, that they abandoned Fusion Frenzy. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. Part 4.
Wait, okay, yeah, what is happening here? This looks like it's like thrown off just a little bit. Why does this look like not quite correct? Oh, I think maybe, what if we try a dissolve here instead? Because this is already like a blue screen going into a black one. It's probably not necessary.
Out. Part 4.
Or, no, I don't want to do a dissolve in both, because the dissolve in both will make it look wonky, I think. We can try it, I guess. Let's see.
Part 4.
Looks
Fusion Frenzy 2.
Looks less fucked than the other thing does. So we'll do that. Keep the TV there. Okay.
2.
Fusion Frenzy 2!
Yeah, that's right. There's a Fusion Frenzy 2.
Why that
Yeah, that's right.
should not have glitched out like that.
Yeah, that's right. There's a Fusion Frenzy 2.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that
Why
wasn't
didn't you
actually
mention
an
this
issue.
before, you might say? And the answer is that it is crucial to leave this until the very end so you can understand why it was such a death blow to this franchise before it could even really get off the ground. In fact, there are a lot of people who probably loved the first game who did not know there was a sequel until right now. Nobody liked this game, and it's hard for me to explain why without falling into the rabbit hole of making an inescapable style video just ripping it to shreds, so I'll give you the short version. It underwent a total stylistic overhaul that took the unique, interesting character designs and morphed them into these generic, conventionally attractive, vapid knockoffs of the originals. The personality was gone, the quirky designs were gone, and the game ended up looking like it prioritized looking clean and sterile and polished over looking fun. The minigames were often worse versions of the originals, if not brand new games that just sucked. And while it kept the same core structure of 3 minigames followed by a finale in each zone, it was now inexplicably set in space, with each zone being a different planet. The minigames were often more complicated, more finicky, and less fun, especially the ones that tried to replicate the classics from the original and mostly just fell flat on their faces with floaty controls, poor visual design, and outright bugginess. While the first game had an announcer, he was a faceless presence that just sort of stepped in to announce upcoming minigames, provide instructions, and add a bit of flavor. The sequel not only gave him a face, but a whole design that only a mother could love, and an incredibly obnoxious, in-your-face personality that felt more like he should be hosting the Spike Game Awards instead of Intergalactic Wipeout. However, with that said, there were 4 major changes from the original that
This minigame is at 2 times speed because it was otherwise so painfully slow that it was like unusable footage.
made it worse. The
But I still
first
wanna
was how
talk
the
through it 'cause
minigames
it's a dumb
actually
minigame.
functioned. Orbs have been replaced with just a boring straight-up point system, and now everybody gets points. The bigger change to minigames is that the winner also receives a bonus in the finale now, either a boost to their damage, their defense, or their health. And if you can win all 3 rounds, you get all 3 bonuses. Now remember, in the original game, finales were a bit of an equalizer. If you performed well in the minigames, then you had an advantage, but it was just as possible for someone to come from behind and take the crown from you, especially if you got cocky and started gambling stuff. Fusion Frenzy 2 does away with all of that and just creates a system where instead you are more and more able to snowball. If you start struggling
Yeah,
in
this
the
minigame
minigames,
lasted
you are
2
going to
minutes.
struggle in the finale. Now you might be thinking, wait, what do you mean damage, defense, and health? The finales are just about like collecting points, right? And the answer is that that's our second big change. The finale format for each planet has been changed into just another minigame where you're trying to beat up all the other characters. You lose by losing all your health, so extra damage makes it easier to kill someone. Extra defense means you take less damage, and extra health means you get a second life. I mean, assuming you didn't die to a stage hazard, I think. Then you just get points like it was any other minigame. The third big change is that the number of planets isn't predetermined. Instead, you set the number of planets needed to win the tournament, meaning that you might have a goal of, say, winning 3 tournaments and have to play as many as 9 for someone to actually win it. If you run out of new planets, then you just get to go back to the old ones. Usually the winner of one planet gets to choose the next one, but not always, for reasons that we're going to get into in a sec. The fourth major change, and to be clear, this is easily the dumbest of the entire game, was the introduction of a cards system. You started out with 2, but you could hold as many as 3, with new ones sometimes being distributed as rewards for minigames or through a little intermission game where they just throw a bunch on the floor and you have to scurry around trying to collect them. At the start of each minigame, you get the option to play one of these cards by pressing a face button on your controller. Nobody else knows what you played, or if you played any at all. At the end of the minigame, once the placements have been determined, the cards come into play. There are 5 types of cards players can play. There's a multiplier, which multiplies the points a player receives by 2, 4, or 6. There's an inverse card, which turns multiplier cards into division cards and divides their scores by 2, 4, 6 instead. And steal, which steals the effect of another card. There's also 2 cards that allow you to select the next minigame or the next planet, but the most important ones are the first 3, because what the fuck is that? Like, let's put this into context, okay? Let me tell you what can happen in this game. You win the minigame, so you score 10 points. However, you played a 6 times multiplier, so you actually get 60 points. Except, wait, the person in third stole your card, so you only actually get 10 points and they get 36. Now they win this minigame that they literally lost. Except wait, there's still more. The person in second played an inverse card, so now the person in third actually had their score divided by 6, meaning they only got 1 point. So they're actually in fourth and you still win. But wait, there's still more. The person in fourth also played an inverse card, which cancels out second place's inverse card, so the person in third actually still does get their 36 points and they still win the minigame. It is a deeply stupid way of assigning points that only an actual idiot would think is remotely fun or enjoyable. Like, this is bonus.
When I was playing through this and getting the footage for this, I remember just being mad the whole time because I was like, oh cool, I won this minigame, but actually take third. Because I didn't have a 4 times multiplier, and everyone else did. So fuck me, I guess. It's so dumb. It's so
Bonus stars on
frustrating.
steroids. It sucks, especially because there's no way to know what anyone else has picked unless you just know they don't have certain cards. So you're stuck just having to try and guess what anyone else might do. There's really no way to be strategic about it other than trying to wait until nobody else has any steal or inverse cards before playing a multiplier. But if you do have one of those cards, you have to just take a shot in the dark when you try and play it. And the impact of this is entirely dependent on your performance in a minigame that you just might not know how you'll perform in. If you have a 6 times multiplier, that could be huge. Or it could really not mean very much because you placed last instead of placing first. This whole mechanic, and Fusion Frenzy 2 as a whole, just sucks, and most people pretend it no longer exists. The original game is on Game Pass and available through the Xbox Marketplace to purchase today digitally, and has been made backwards compatible on the 360, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. The sequel, by contrast, was never made available on any other consoles, and has effectively been memory holed, leaving the original as functionally the only Fusion Frenzy. Like I said earlier, there was supposed to be a sequel from Blitz Games in 2004, and apparently there was even a GameStop product page created for it, but it was scrapped. Instead, the sequel was developed by Hudson Soft and published by Microsoft Game Studios for a 2007 release on the 360. It flopped hard, which was an entirely predictable outcome given that it was handed off to another developer who seemingly wasn't familiar with the original and didn't dedicate enough time or resources to make a good game. Microsoft seemed to know it sucked too, because they didn't even really bother to advertise it. Hell, the game was originally scheduled for a holiday 2006 launch, but got pushed back to the end of January in 2007. Do you know how bad a game has to be for the publisher to say, hey, let's not let this taint our holiday season, just quietly drop that shit in late January and hope nobody notices? Keep in mind, this is the sequel to one of the original Xbox's launch titles. Like, that's a pretty massive fall from grace. When I say that Microsoft abandoned Fusion Frenzy, I mean that it wholly dumped the franchise just because it couldn't be bothered to put in the time, money, and effort to build it up. And it's not just Fusion Frenzy. If Microsoft has a reputation for anything at this point, it's slashing the Achilles of every studio it comes across and then wondering why they can't dunk. The more a studio or its IP ends up in Microsoft's orbit, the more it tends to suffer for it. Even the franchise that made the Xbox a must-have console suffered from this. This one sucks? Yes. Fusion Frenzy 2 is very bad. Fusion Frenzy 1, great. Fusion Frenzy 2. Halo went from one of the games to own if you were a console gamer and a major cultural phenomenon in its own right, to something that cost $500 million in development alone only for people to not care. At least not as much as they did about those original Bungie games. Like, it's still a big franchise, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely deluded, but Microsoft had a game that was the gaming equivalent of Madonna in her Like a Virgin era and then insisted on pushing it into its American Life era as fast as humanly possible. Meanwhile, over at Nintendo, you've got games like Splatoon that started small and were able to grow more and more into becoming a big shooter franchise. You've got the Smash Bros games, which started out as a more small-scale gimmick game and evolved into one of the biggest fighting game franchises out there that keeps spawning imitators. Mario Kart just keeps chugging along as another incredibly popular game in a way that other kart games never did because they kept investing in the franchise and improving it. Sometimes they missed the mark, but because they were committed to making these games and continuing the series, just driving off the end or edge there for no good reason. They were committed to making these games and continuing the series, they were able to get it to a point where Mario Kart is an established cornerstone of a Nintendo console that tons of people buy just in case they have some friends that want to hang out. When people talk about the Switch 2 that's seemingly not far down the road at this point, they talk about when there's going to be new games in these franchises. A new Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Splatoon, Zelda,
she does it
Pokemon,
again,
whatever
and Gina
else,
jumps off
because
the edge.
Nintendo has put in years, often decades, of work into entrenching these franchises into the culture of their studios and of their consoles. Even for the games where they've dropped the ball in some recent releases like Pokemon, there's still functionally cultural institutions for a huge number of people. How many games exist like that from Microsoft? Now or in the past, frankly. Because they absolutely could have invested into making those kinds of staples for their consoles, but they didn't because they don't actually care.
Gina drove off
They
again,
never
and
really
Samsung
tried to make
got
Fusion Frenzy into a
exploded.
Mario Party competitor the way that they never actually tried to make Quantum Redshift into a Wipeout or F-Zero competitor. They threw some money at some studios to see if they could make a miracle happen, and somehow they got a miracle out of Bungie, so they got to survive for a while. But basically everybody else just produced solid first entries that needed time to grow into successful franchises, and Microsoft didn't want that. It was a miracle or bust approach, and the only real change between now and then is that a miracle is no longer enough. Hi-Fi Rush was a miracle in terms of performance, and they still can. Hi Dits, good evening to you. Tango Gameworks, because it wasn't enough of a miracle for them. And Sony, I mean, when the PlayStation 5 gets some games, we can revisit this topic with them, but they are guilty of a lot of the same stuff that Microsoft is. They just don't tend to throw around as much money for it. Microsoft abandons its games. It did it in the past with Fusion Frenzy, it's doing it in the present with Hi-Fi Rush, and I promise you that it will inevitably do so in the future with more of the games it bought up in this latest acquisition spree, including Overwatch. The reason it frustrates me so much is that people want these games. People are still hyped about Fusion Frenzy, even though it's old. I do, yeah, hold on, give me a sec. Old enough to rent a fucking car, and its only sequel was garbage that no one liked. It might not have ever been the most popular game in the world, but if it had been allowed to grow and develop, it could have absolutely achieved that goal from 2000 of being a game that somebody could bring their friends over to play while they were hanging out and drinking a couple beers or whatever. By contrast, Nintendo is a pretty good example of how, despite very much so being a flawed company in their own ways, don't get me wrong there, there's real value for everybody. The investors, the developers, the studio, the executives, and the consumers in spending the time and money necessary to build up these IPs into their best possible versions. Microsoft does not know what it's doing, and its increasing monopolization of the games industry, coupled with a lack of willingness to enforce antitrust regulations, is a genuinely scary thing because of how many good games are being put at risk of becoming future victims. Not to mention all the good games that never even got a chance to come into existence because good studios like Tango were demolished by incompetent, uncaring executives. I'm still mad about Fusion Frenzy, not just because I'm inexplicably obsessed with this party game that's almost as old as I am, but because it's indicative of how Microsoft never learned anything when it came to this stuff. It was one thing in 2001 when they were still new to the scene, but at this point it's clear that they know what the end result of their practices are and they just don't care. It is only going to get worse because Microsoft is kind of too big to fail at this point. They have too much money to ever have to put a stop to acting like this, so we're going to see it happen again and again. If global warming doesn't put Microsoft's Redmond HQ underwater by 2050, we will almost certainly be having the same conversation again because this is just what the unregulated games industry is and does. And it is frustrating to know that we don't have the power to change anything because we don't have billions of lobbying dollars necessary to convince people in power that it should not be legal for the wealthy and powerful to destroy entire art forms in their selfish pursuit of even more billions of dollars at the expense of the consumers and creators. This is too loud. We were adjusting it earlier and I wasn't sure. And on that lighthearted note, that's where we're going to end this video for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this rant. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff the algorithm likes. If you want to see the behind the scenes on this video, the whole process of it can be found start to finish over on my VoD's channel. Link is in the description. This video was a donathon reward, and if you're watching this on the day— oh, also, if anyone does join the Discord server, either I or a moderator will try and get to as soon as possible. It's just, you know, we'll take a sec. The day it comes out, the Donathon timer is still going on at twitch.tv/thevivaros. Something else that's still going on is the bonus members choice poll, which was another Donathon reward for this month. Channel members pay $5 a month to vote on one topic per month, and their pick for May, Drag Queens, VTubers, and Jesters Privilege, should be coming out next week. However, since we hit a goal in the Donathon at $200, they're currently voting for a second one between these 5 topics. First, there's the toxic sword of Damocles in ranked Overwatch, a returning topic from February which would be about why the ever-present threat of toxicity in Overwatch, even if it doesn't manifest in every game, is such a problem. Next is who's writing Overwatch's history, a returning topic from November and March that would be about who gets to write the history textbooks in the Overwatch universe and why it matters when it comes to telling the game's story. Third up is you stagnating in competitive isn't Blizzard's fault, a returning topic from April focused on explaining why it isn't Blizzard's fault that you're not constantly climbing in ranked even if you keep playing. And our final returning topic is Blizzard's Panopticon isn't working, from March and May focused on why the style of moderation used for Overwatch fails to actually moderate player behavior. Lastly, there is one brand new topic, Buried Stars and how character design can tell a story. After so many people responded positively to the mentions of Buried Stars in the Inescapable video, I figured I'd float a topic about the game for future members just in case they wanted to go with it. Anyways, this one would focus on how Buried Stars uses character design not only to tell the stories of those characters, but to increase tension and draw your focus in really clever ways. Voting is open between these 5 topics until midnight Mountain Time on Saturday, May 18th. If no topic has a majority at that point, there'll be a runoff between the top 2 for another 3 days. What just happened there? Between the top 2 for another 3 has a majority at that point, there'll be a runoff between the top 2 for another 3. Wait, no, are you guys seeing that too? Is it flickering? There'll be a runoff between— yeah, it is. There's like a frame here where it's like disappearing for some reason. What the fuck is happening? A runoff between the— it doesn't show up here, it just shows up top 2 for another 3 days. Runoff between the top— runoff. It's like right around here, it's like flickering. Am I going insane, guys? Be a runoff between the top right. Like the— not Blizzard's fault you can't climb. It's flickering there, is it not? Why is it doing that? Hold on. What if we like— there'll be a runoff between the top— no, it's still why is it doing that? be a runoff between the top two.
Every time I say like it hits the run off and then it flickers.
There'll be a runoff between the top two. Runoff between the top two for another. Runoff between the top two. Runoff between the.
Oh, there it is. See, look, you can see it disappear there for a second. Okay, thank God I'm not insane. What the fuck is that? I have no idea why it does that. Okay, there it shows up now. And then it disappears again. I'm so concerned about that. No, it's not that you're blind. I think it was like really fast. It's like one frame where it just disappears, even though it's here. What happens if I like 38.01? Let's see if re-rendering it causes it to come back. What is... I don't know where it's actually rendering in here. Hold on. Yeah, no, I thought it was the lights in the background for a second too, like that must be what it is, but like no, it was just disappearing for a frame there, and I'm hoping it's probably just something weird with how it was rendered. Actually, because yeah, right now it's not there. If we put it back to 38. That's so bizarre. I've never seen that happen before. Hold on. Like, it goes back if I change the size of it by 0 or 0.01%. Which is not really noticeable or visible, but...
As a majority at that point, there'll be a runoff between the top two for another 3.
Okay, I guess we'll just do that. It is just one frame, but that kind of makes it worse almost, because then people are, like, it's disruptive. It, like, breaks the flow of shit. Like, if it was, like, more frames, honestly, more people would, like, be able to see it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, as opposed to like it just bothering people probably. Plus, like, I don't know why that would it's like it's a static PNG. I don't even know how it would manage to do that. Anyways, let's see if it
days with the be a runoff between the top two for another 3 days, with the winning topic coming out.
It's still there now, so I don't know. That was weird.
Out on May 31st. If you'd like to vote for one of these, you can become a member for $5 a month by clicking the join button below. Lastly, thank you to all my channel members. Mini Q, Olesp, Cage the Orc, Fish Toast, Alex Stone, Nemo the Survivor, Destiny, Yoshi of the Wire, Cat Lover 192, Sourdough, Aluma Riley, Cadence, Windex the Great, V, Deleathers, Gavost, Marsh Alice, Crimson Cyclo, Jules Coolness, Good Guy Luis, Cactine Kushler, Ikri, Hallucigeno, MV, The Only Enigma, and Hazmat Baddick Games. Whether you're a channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
Lags up there a second. That's just because of the... If we put this at half, it'll fix that. I think.
Channel member, a subscriber, or you just clicked on this video out of curiosity. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you around again soon.
Oh, wow.
I hope I'll see you around again soon.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. Because this video is original, like this, the Somber Dance is originally like 1440p. So this is a bigger video. I think that has usually caused that issue when I'm doing the preview, but like, excuse me, I'm dying. It'll work when it's like the full thing. Actually,
And I hope I'll see you around again soon.
but there it worked, for whatever reason. And I think it might be done here. I think we might have finished it, guys. Why do I keep saying we? We did it, Joe. We did it. Guys, I'm gonna hide the screen for a sec, or hide Filmora just because I'm gonna export it now. And I'm not sure if it's gonna be like, hey, by the way, here's your full legal name in the file name. Or in like the folder where we're saving this. So let's go with Veras. Go. Settings, do a little bit of tweaking. This might make the stream a little bit janky. It definitely is. Physics is hard. Trust me. Like, this stuff is mostly. I think it's the video editing process in particular is like it's mostly tedious. It's a patience. It's like you know how there are some games that aren't difficult, they just require you to have like the tenacity to keep going with them. Or like they're hard, but like the challenge is more like you're expected to bash your head against the wall for a few days before you eventually move on. Like that's just kind of how it's built, as opposed to being one where like you're expected to be mechanically very good at all of these different things. That's kind of how I think about it. And we're gonna export this, which means that it's gonna be a little bit. The PC might slow down a little bit. Rendering time, or the export time, it says about 30 something minutes. So hopefully it didn't completely tank this. I mean, the computer seems like it's mostly still working on speed. So what we're gonna do now is work on the thumbnail a little bit. Let me just find a couple of. I'm gonna have to hide my screen a bunch of times just so like it doesn't show too much, because like I'm gonna be going through some of my artwork to try and find stuff, and some of that is NSFW, so we are not gonna want to show that on stream. Who was the other one? It was Capicule. Let's see if I can find the other art or the other thing I do. Okay, I think I can maybe show this. Everything okay here? Oh shit! Welcome in, Trake. Hi, Raiders. How are you? We're just finishing up an export on a video and then getting a thumbnail done. Welcome in, welcome in. Well, let me get the shout out for you. Where's the shout out command? Oh god, my PC might be really struggling right now because it is trying to do a lot. Typing this out is a struggle. There we go. Shout out. Oh, how is Bayonetta? Yes, welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in. My name is Vivras, variety streamer. Play a whole bunch of stuff. Right now we are doing. Did I add this into the Google Doc? I did. Okay, good. So we can close this. Close Tumblr. Because we were borrowing a thing from there. We were citing a source. Oh god, is this gonna? Okay, we can close those two because we've already used those sources. We've got that done. Is the stream like choppy as all hell for you guys, or is it like mostly looking okay? Because I really can't tell. Oh, nice. Glad to hear the first game went good. I mean, I'm assuming it went good if you were able to finish it and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, mobile Twitch is really cool. It's really fun how like this small indie company is able to make a functional app for sure. Okay, good. I'm fine if my PC is a little bit janky on my end, so long as it's not for other people. I'm just trying to get all the like different thumbnail things that we can maybe use for this all open, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So I think I can maybe show this right now. Let me find a way to add a new source. Fair enough. Yeah, like I use it sometimes when I'm like doing something on my computer, but I want to watch one of my friends and still be able to chat without having to tab back and forth, but like it becomes a headache. Where's a window capture? Let's see if it will work. Okay. it will work. But we're going to crop it a little bit. Hold on. 1 sec. Where's the filters? Actually, I don't know if we need to crop it. We can just like sort it in here. Do 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 do. We'll extend it a little bit more so it's like cropping out the bottom of the page because we don't need to see the full thing. And same with up top, probably. Or you guys can't really see the useful stuff up there anyway, so we'll just crop this out. Mostly just have to show the screen of like what we're working on. If it will allow me to drag it anymore, that would be cool if it could. Can we... am I going to be allowed to move around my sources? Streamlabs OBS? This is why nobody should use Streamlabs OBS. Okay, good enough. I think that's just going to have to be where that stays. By the muscles canon. The muscles are as canonical as anyone wants them to be. This is by an artist, Darian821Jai821 on Twitter, who is very, very talented. Highly, highly recommend. He draws a lot of, like, he tends to draw more muscular, so I end up getting a little bit more muscular art from him in general. But yeah, so we've got a few different options for like the base thumbnail thing. We've got this art piece, which is the Darian one. This was what I used originally for the Mario Party birthday streams. What I might do is like I could do something like this. And just have it be like a little bit of a smaller, or like a little bit more zoomed in. Because I wanted to, last time when I was doing this, I had like room for my friends in here. Because there's Henrik and Krim and Puppo and Midi. But this time we don't need to do that. We just need to put a title in there. I think that might be a little bit too... oh, that cut it off. That's unfortunate. It's just a ferret. Well, no. I kind of want to use the, like... I kind of think it'd be cute to use the art. But I also have this art that could also... I think I have it in here already. Yeah, I have this one that like is very cute art. I just don't know if it works for a thumbnail the way that I originally planned it to be. Because the main thing is like the background being like it's a very, very cute piece of art done by Capital Calais, also known as Barakari on Twitter. And they make lovely, lovely art. I'm just not sure if this is like the right design for this thumbnail. Because I think the yellow and blue is a little more striking. But then I don't know what to do with like the rest of it. Also, we might just not include the character art at all and just use like... I wonder if there's a way for me to just get like transparent background PNGs of the characters. Because I have this art, but this isn't really what I want. I would want like... should probably be keeping performance mode off so I can actually see what you guys are seeing. Make sure nothing is like showing up that shouldn't. Right? Okay, good. Hmm. I don't know if we can do that, though, is the thing. Because like I could try and crop some of these characters out of their artwork, but like it'd be so difficult to not make it look janky as shit too. There's a lot of really cool art of this game that would be fun to use in some way. I just don't like this would be fun. I don't know how to like add this in as a better background, you know? So it's like so small, so it ended up getting stretched to shit. And like, I don't think that that's as striking. I think that like the yellow on a blue background, I think looks really good. I kind of want that to be the priority of this. Then I can also have the yellow outline. Also, 1920 across means that we need 960 width, which means that because let me just grab like, because this bit's the main bit of the text. Like we want this to be centered. The rest of it can be off to the side. So this right now, 1245. So okay, so we're gonna want the center point to be on 623. I'm just gonna paint that black so I know where like the box is, because that's the left half. And if we go on the other side of this, graphic design public enemy number 1. Yeah. Also, hi Mint, how are you? 622. But are you calling me public enemy number 1 of graphic design, or are you just saying the graphic design is public enemy number 1? Because either one is valid. So that's what we're gonna want there. And then A, Control C, B, merge these two down. And then this is 1920 by 1080, which means we want this to be 960. This is like probably not the right way to do this at all, like in the fucking slightest, to even this out. But I am not a smart man, so we're gonna do what we can. Okay, and so we're gonna move this over until we can see that this is like perfectly in the middle ground. And then we just move this one over until it aligns with the one that I put behind it. There we go, good enough. And then we should be able to just delete this, and delete this, and now it's centered. That's not a good way of doing that. I'm so sorry to everybody. And then we want some text. I'm not sure what we'll use for this. We'll probably, like, I usually use, where is it? Jura? Because this is the one that all my branding uses as well. Actually, let me pull the color from here. Make this bigger. I don't really know. I'm not sure what we're going to put on the thumbnail. Design ITing school. Nice. Or design IT school. I said graphic design ITing school, which is not correct, but it sounds cool. It's like, I enjoy it in theory. Just in practice, I know I'm bad at it. This font is not the right one for this, but we're gonna. I still don't, because the original title for this again is like Microsoft abandoned Fusion Friend, and I'm still mad about it. Wait, how do I do it for the quantum wrench? Hold on, let me, oh, not that one. We wanted to go to here. Okay, this is like, I use this as the overlay. This is how I always have the same outline for everything. Let's do this. We're gonna hide paint.net for a hot second because I'm gonna open up an older thumbnail, see if I can use that to kind of help me figure out how I laid that out. Okay, now we can show paint.net again, I think. Have a good sleep, Wizard. Thank you for stopping by. Who's damning me? What's happening here? I saw like 6 notifications pop up on Discord all at once. I was like, oh god, I'm like, the server got disrupted or something. There's a dot on my screen that I thought was part of this, and I was wrong. It was not. I don't know if a masterclass in mismanagement is really a good title for it, or like a good thing to put on the thumbnail, but like, I think it works. I don't know. It is probably also not on the screen where it's supposed to be, but at least it's like. Actually, we'll leave it there just in case I forget what I wrote. But yeah, see, I will already forget what I wrote. Hold on. What about it's not like a thing that immediately like adjusts it and snaps it right to the center, which is really annoying because I want it to be like centered on the screen and it doesn't have like a thing for that, I don't think. So I have to like manually try and put it in the middle. Like the anchor point is, yeah, just like the very left edge, which is not really. They're not right. Oh, hey, look, the video is done exporting. We're gonna upload it real quick. Let's cycle through some other fonts, see if there's anything that looks good. I'm terrible at picking fonts. They always look bad. I've gotten so much shit from people for like, why do you do that to yourself? Why do you make such hideous thumbnails? Like, why does the font never look right? And I'm like, look, I'm very stupid. Does that answer the question? So I want something that looks like it's kind of the same vibe as the Fusion Frenzy font. I just don't know what that would be. I kind of don't hate that one. I don't think it's the right one. This is the Clue font. I love barely visible fonts. And like that one would kind of match with the aesthetic of the rest of it a little bit, but hold on, let me just like um, okay, Unispace, just in case like it ends up being a good choice down the road. Used a lot of work sans for a long time, but I don't think it's really the right one for this. Fonts are truly like my least favorite thing to have to try and figure out because like, what do you mean? What does any of this mean? What are we doing here? Actually, I kind of like how that one looks. Hold on. What if we do Belgium? Too big, but mm, it's like that one looks a little bit too retro. Whereas this one I think is like kind of correctly conveying the like 2000s vibe. But I don't know if what about like a different title maybe? Hmm. I want it to be something that like indicates that, but like just go with how Microsoft kills games. Hit the italics just for the sake of it. The thing is, and like it sounds nerdy, but like the kerning of this feels like they're a little bit too close together. If they could be just like a tiny bit more spaced out, but I don't think that's a tool that I have in this. Oh. I kind of like that though. I wonder if we could still find room to add him in. Not that one specifically, I guess. Like maybe the. See, I don't know if I really want myself. I kind of like the idea of it being like a more simple thumbnail. And I kind of just wonder like what I could do to like give it that shine effect because like it looks a little bit too flat for like the 3D-ness of the other text. But I wonder if, hold on, let me try something. Okay, put one layer beneath it that we're gonna paint like black. Hmm. Okay, yeah, so then we move that. Oh. Okay, so it actually does need to be painted black a little bit more, huh? You know, actually, what we can do here, just do that. Effects or adjustments, hue slash saturation. Make the outside one go entirely black. Grab it. 2. Um, see if we merge this up to here. Let me grab. Like be as sensitive as possible basically on this, and then just like. Does that have the effect that I were looking for? I don't think so. Maybe if it was more like gray, it would work. That doesn't really work either. Maybe just keeping it on a lower layer might work. Maybe just like, oh wait, no. A little bit of a darker hue on that. Adjustments. Maybe bring it up to like a really light shade. One more. And then grab all of this. Use that. Delete them from here. And then have the come down here a little bit. Effects, blur, Gaussian blur. If we put like a oh no, we don't want to put very much of it on there. Like a 5 maybe? That's still too much. Hi Puppo, thank you for the Wawa. We'll get that right away. How are you? That actually kind of works. We just need to like, I think, do less of a blur on it. I think we did like a 2. Yes, how are you, Puppo? Okay, busy day today. That's good. Being busy is better than being bored. So let me just really quickly go and start uploading the video over on the channel. Because it is now done exporting. It's been done exporting for a hot minute, to be honest. So we're gonna close Filmora so that hopefully we also can, you know, actually the PC can speed up a little bit. Then we'll upload that so that I can start processing a bit more. Or processing it all really, so it can be ready to go in about an hour. Okay. Did not allow any of that stuff. We'll figure out monetization stuff later. I mean, yeah, we will want it to be monetized, and I'll have to. Oh, fuck! I needed to keep Fillmore open. We'll figure that out later. The monetization stuff isn't as important. Discard changes. I'll figure out all of that later. Submit that rating. Video elements. We'll import this from here. Good enough. Excuse me, I'm dying. We'll do checks for copyright and stuff. Just gonna list it for private right now, just so I can have it uploading. Because it's gonna take 36 minutes to upload apparently, and then another however long. I always need you in my hole. I'm assuming that's what you meant, right? So as a dumb joke, brain is small. I am being melted by this. But yes, I think that we'll probably do this, and then if we just like if we had like a very light blur to it. Like I do think it needs like legitimately like a 2 should be good. And then if we do look at that. That makes it look pretty like 3D all things considered, right? Actually, if we take this again, if we do the same thing that we did there, we grab this, take all of that, use that to delete anything extra from here. Then use that to like one, that same Gaussian blur. Adjustments, use that saturation. If we turn this all the way back down to like nearly black, I don't think that'll do anything for us, but I think that also gives a better shadow illusion. I think that actually works. I like that. And then what we're going to do here is find the original text. Where is it? There it is. Find this. Drop it down to the very bottom. Because what we're going to want to do is grab that yellow color and then like red or something so that it can, or we'll pick like, this is like orange. So we'll pick a blue shade. What we're going to do is do this. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, no, actually, we don't need to be very big. We need to be like the same size as this. Because I want it to look like that same effect the other thing has. And then if we go back to here, grab all this. Delete the interior of this. And on this layer, if we grab it and we drag it up higher, kind of at that same angle. 12. Actually, the first one was pretty close, wasn't it? Like right behind it. And then we do the... That's not enough if it goes. Oh, wait, no. Next blur is Gaussian blur. We want like a... Over like 10. And we just want to lighten up a little bit. So it's a little... I think actually maybe what we can do here is instead of that, we just adjust the saturation of this. Is this not like... What am I adjusting here? I'm so confused about what that is. I think that one might not be anything. We're just going to delete that. I think it was... Oh, that was one... Right, I remember. I'm dumb. So this one is the one that we're looking at. We want to adjust the saturation of this. Leave that at normal lightness. Oh, we don't want to change the saturation. Actually, that's not good. If we boost the saturation, that ends up looking too yellow. I want it to stay the same shade of like an orangey color. Just like move it like one more up. A couple more up. Let me copy it again. Control Shift N, V. I don't know if actually having the second one makes it work better, because it's a little bit harder to see there. Also, that one was like pretty far back on the top, wasn't it? I don't know if I like that. I think maybe just having the one layer of it actually kind of works better, and we can just like bump that one a little bit more over. Like that. Is Leo. Okay, how are we feeling about that? Because I actually kind of like how that's turning out. And what we could maybe do even is if we just think that this is maybe a little bit too high up. We could do just like sort this or like shift this further down into the screen. Then if we merge all of these layers together, how are we feeling about this? It's like a little bit simple. And I'm not sure if I love how basic it is, especially because like you can't really see what's actually. Can I like increase the contrast of the background here? Increase the. Hmm. Yeah, like I think the brightness and the contrast both just need to be upped. I don't know how to do that without like. Yeah. Hi Lunax, how are you? Trying to think about what else we could put in the back. Oh no, actually that was way better. Hold on. Let's put that brightness and contrast back on there. It does still look better. But let's highlight it more. What if there's a way for me to just like, I wish I could grab all the like lighter bits of it. Like just all of these. I don't think I really can do that. Maybe just increase the saturation. Mm. Mm. Some of the character would be good. It's just like there's not a lot of assets of other characters for the game out there. And I don't know if I like. So I did for the quantum retrofit one was this, but I don't think that one also really worked that well. Finish 4 hours and I use that. Oh no. I hope the 4 hours was good. Or I hope that you're at least doing okay. Because I could use like I could try and crop out him. But also like I don't know, I kinda like the like simplicity of it. I don't know. It's like, okay, let me like do something real quick. Like go to the YouTube channel. I'm gonna hide paint on it for a half second so I don't dox myself if I crop this out. Okay, there we go. That should be fine. It's like, how does this look like alongside the other videos? Oh, right. I forgot this is not like a full. Hold on. Screenshot it. It's going to be a bit rough. Who cares? If we like put this on the channel next to the others, like Hmm. I kind of like it like that. Like sometimes I do thumbnails that are a little bit busier, but like I like this one being a very like. If I move it down here, like something about how readable this will be, because that's definitely been the issue sometimes. Like wanting to make it seem as readable as possible. I mean, it's blurry as shit because it's zoomed out, but like, yeah, graphics. I mean, like, the problem is really the like having this grid paper background, because that one really throws it off, I think. And this graphic, I think, also kind of is just maybe. Hold on, what if we like do this? VoD blend mode. I don't know if additive is really what we're looking for, but different blend mode or stroke. Hmm. Yeah, I don't hate this idea. I just need to figure out like how to make it work best. Difference. It's like the negation could work. It's just like, what was the one that we did earlier that worked well? Multiply doesn't. Oh, glow was the one that I thought looked nice before. Maybe. We have the lightness and saturation a bit. Like, I kind of like that. I just think maybe a tiny bit less opaque. Like 35? Let me try this one. Hold on. We'll do this. Like this. Screenshot. Yeah, she'll just make a new one. Who cares? I was gonna just overlay the, or overwrite the old one, but we'll keep both so we can contrast them. And if we take this, put it over here. I think it looks really good, actually. I'm kind of happy with that. The sumo thing was a good idea. I didn't want to like make it the whole thing, but having it be like a little glow effect, I think it adds some layers to it, and also it kind of almost brightens up what's behind it, like the city outline, which creates some fun little contrast. And look, we have to remember, I'm not good at graphic design. My channel is built on bad graphic design.
So like this is the level of stuff that people are gonna be expecting anyways. A bit of jank, but I don't know. I think that's good because like the yellow and blue has a lot of contrast, which I do like for the simplicity of it. But yeah, I think this has a little bit more dimension to it and a little bit more like it doesn't interfere with the text is the main thing. It's still like bright, but like also you can still read the text even if it's like real zoomed out. So yeah, okay, I'm going to hide the screen for a second just so I don't dox myself while I save this. Where is this? We're gonna hide paint.net. Shift S. Fusion. JPEG. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. And so I think that'll be our thumbnail. I'll also make the, let me just make the graphic for this really quickly as well. Make that a social media post stuff. G. Okay. I think we're done with making the video, guys. Look at that. It's been, hold on, I'll get the image of the actual thumbnail up here. Wait, also, wait, hold on. Puppo, you're still here, right? Look it, this is the gift that Puppo got me. The little guy, little plushie. It's so good. Let me find this. Yeah. So this is our video now. How Microsoft kills games or Fusion, or Microsoft, oops, shit. Microsoft abandoned Fusion Frenzy and I'm still mad about it is the real title. I really like this. Okay. Thank you guys for being part of this. It's been a lot of fun. I'm very glad that we've been able to do this over stream. I'm gonna end the recording for the VoD so that I can upload that and it can be like the final part of the playlist that I have for these. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to make like alternate thumbnails of this for the VoDs of it, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't know. This has been a lot of fun. I don't know if we'll do it again. I don't know when we'll do it again. I don't know what topic we do it for again, but it'll be good. The video for this is going to come out at 6 p.m. my time, I think is the plan right now. So that's in about 45 minutes. It's uploading right now. It's not very close to done. It's got 35 minutes left to upload, it says, so maybe it'll be a little bit later than that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to attach that thumbnail to it. There it is. And then, yeah, we're going to end this recording here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a break while I get that stuff sorted out. And then we're going to move on to the next thing. I'm so tired, you guys. Anyways, we're done.